Right now, it's week 5 of the AFL on NBC. Some of you will see John Bon Jovi's Philadelphia Soul try to rock and roll over the Chicago Rush. One problem, the Rush haven't lost a game. Others will see the New York Dragons at the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. The question is, can Aaron Garcia's ankle hold up as they try to hand the San Jose SaberCats their first loss? Still others of you will see the New Orleans Voodoo. The expansion sensation lost their first game last week. Now, no matter how they look, they're taking on the defending AFL champions, Tampa Bay. And finally, the Georgia Force won a last-play game over Los Angeles Monday night. Today, they take on Clint Dalzell, who's the quarterback star of the Las Vegas Gladiators. We have it for you on NBC. And welcome to New York City. We'll get you set in just minutes. We'll kick off. Al Troutwick, as always, along with Glenn Parker. Today, we are joined by the outstanding quarterback of the Los Angeles Avengers, Tony Graziani. Tony, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm excited for this today.
Big shoes to fill.
Big shoes, Elway, Maddox.
Yeah. The question is, he up for it?
I think I'll be all right.
Now, of the 4 games that we've got in regional coverage today, which one are you going to be keeping an eye on?
Well, you mentioned it earlier. I'm going to be very excited to see and interested to see how Garcia comes out today and plays on that ankle. I saw him walk off and limp off during warm-ups, and hopefully he'll be able to go today.
And that was just minutes ago. Now, what game is your favorite?
I want to watch Freddie Solomon of the Tampa Bay Storm. He's having a tremendous year already. He's really on pace to break some records. I want to see if he can continue that.
We have Tony Graziani here today, and of course, we put a lot of emphasis on the quarterbacks because they dominate so much of this league. Here's a look inside the life of what Tony Graziani feels as a quarterback in this league.
It starts the minute you step onto that field. Confusion is everywhere. Everyone is counting on you.
Go!
You have to get rid of the ball. So much pressure, so little time. The life of an arena football quarterback.
Very dramatic. Here's a look at the numbers. Tony completes 60% of the passes he throws, his 1,021 yards, 3rd in the AFL. That changes so much week to week. 26 TDs, 2nd in the AFL. And here's the real big number. 0 interceptions. What's up with the oxygen?
It's one of those hits where I got the wind knocked out of me a little bit, but I came back and finished the game.
Quick decisions in these games, but big hits too. A lot of hits. Tell me about it.
Well, it's one of those things where you might have a guy who's never played offense before blocking for you, and you're going against a guy who's played defense his whole life. So you're going to take a few shots in this game, but you got to keep getting back up and firing the ball.
All right, I got to ask you a question. Pat Haden, who's calling the game at Nassau Coliseum today for us, picked you guys to win it all at the start of this season. Now, on NBCSports.com, he comes out, and he has jumped off your bandwagon after that last loss, and he is on the San Jose State bandwagon. San Jose bandwagon. Tell me about it.
It's just one of those things. He's an SC guy, First time in trouble, he jumps off the bandwagon and goes to look for somebody else. But, it's going to hurt my psyche. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play the rest of the year.
Somehow you'll get through it. A couple of quick scores from last night. We've got a couple of teams that haven't won a game yet. First stop, Orlando beating Indiana 50-38. They're 0-5. Rookie of the Month, Joe Hamilton, and Dallas. They started slowly, but they've won 4 in a row. They beat Grand Rapids, also winless, by a final score of 66-50. Now, we'll get to football in a moment, but first I want to report the passing of Val Pinchback, who for 4 decades presided over the broadcasting department in the NFL. Our condolences to his family. He dies today at the age of 73.
And today's rumble in the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, where the high-flying San Jose SaberCats, unbeaten at 3-0, come east to face the New York Dragons. Last year's AFL Coach of the Year, Todd Shell in New York, was the first coach ever of the San Jose SaberCats. And he hired as an assistant Darren Arbeth, who now is the head coach in San Jose, and one of the top teams in the league, high in the ratings and looking to remain unbeaten to win their 4th game in a row. Tom Hammond and Pat Haden at the Nassau Coliseum. Lewis Johnson on the sideline for us. New York wins the opening toss and elects to defer, and so San Jose will get the opening kickoff, and that's a look at the dangerous Rasheed Davis.
He has returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns to lead the AFL. You saw the graphic a moment ago. Kickoff returns in this league are absolutely a scoring opportunity. Todd Shell, the head coach of the Dragons, said, we're kicking off. You cannot take that play off. It's the first start of the defensive series.
Gary Crowell will kick off for New York. Sends it on its way toward Davis, who takes it before it hits the net. Here's Rasheed Davis, picking his way forward to just short of the 10-yard line. Richmond Flowers with a special teams tackle for New York.
What a year Mark Grieve has had for these SaberCats. My new favorite team, if you heard the guys in the studio, right? Look what he's done. TD percentage, almost every fourth pass is a touchdown.
What's not to like?
Yeah, and no interceptions. The completion percentage is staggering. 79%. Every defensive player knows he's going to throw the ball. To me, that's just a phenomenal number, a phenomenal year that Mark Grieve is having.
Down! First down play after an 18-yard kickoff return. And Grieve will go right to the air. Short drop and the pass complete. It's caught by James Hunden. And the thing about San Jose is, even though Mark Grieve is the top-rated quarterback, they're a team of balance.
Oh, yeah, they can beat you 3 different ways. Certainly, it starts with Mark Grieve and his talented wide receivers. 60 points a game. Staggering. But then on defense, you know, they get interceptions and they turn them into touchdowns. And then on special teams, we just mentioned Rasheed Davis returning to kickoffs for touchdowns to lead the AFL. So when you put that all together, they can beat you one of 3 different ways. Very multi-dimensional. And that's what I think New York really needs today, as we were talking to Todd Shell yesterday. They have to find a way to make a stop.
Number 84 on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Perry Havener, the referee, offside call against New York.
Todd Shell was talking to us yesterday. We're not making the defensive plays, he said. We're not creating stops. We're not causing turnovers. And, you know, Tom, remember when he came in here last year, when they were 0-4 at that point, he really got that defense playing well. He got the stops. He got the turnovers. They need a similar turnover to stop the 3-game slide they're in right now.
1-3 and desperately in need of a win. Harris was offside, giving San Jose a first down. Here's Mark Grieve on first down. Under some pressure, lets it go, and his receiver falls down, looking for a flag, but none forthcoming. That was Hunden, who was on the turf when the ball sailed over his head. Starting lineup, Grieve, Kinsinger, Reese, Rowe, and Hunden. A lot of weapons for Mark Grieve to find, and protecting Battle, Beatty, and Williams. Second down and 10 for the SaberCats.
Well, early, very early, and New York is applying some pressure to Mark Grieve, who was the nose tackle, number 91, Tim McGill, that really prevented a touchdown play by San Jose just a moment ago.
Grieve's pass on target, caught by Rowe. James Rowe with the catch right at the first down stick. Wesley drives him back and makes the tackle. They'll mark it very close to a first down. Harris, McGill, and Hutch up front for New York, with Flowers, Filer, Dupree, Joseph, and Franklin.
Well, you know, Chris Anthony, their outstanding 2-way wide receiver linebacker, out today. So Richmond Flowers, number 4, gets his first start. He's right there playing what they call the jack linebacker, like a weak side linebacker.
Played some defense in high school, but really learning that position at jack linebacker as San Jose. Here's a look at Richmond Flowers, the third. San Jose with a running play. That's very little.
Yeah, you know, the coaches have spent a lot of time, even you see in between plays, like in quarterbacks on offense, to bring in Richmond Flowers over to tell him, because he's got to call the signals now, too, the defensive signals. So this is a whole new phenomenon for Richmond Flowers, the third.
Kinsinger, no gain on 3rd down and 1, so it's 4th and 1. 4th and 1, and San Jose will go for it.
They don't attempt many field goals.
Rowe in motion. Kinsinger again on the pitch. Has the first down. Kinsinger driving for the touchdown.
The signal, there it is. Yep. Wow. I tell you, this is the best rushing team. You know, we talked about balance at the very beginning, Tom, but one of the things we really didn't talk about is how well they rush. You know, great blocking by their wide receivers, the best blocking wide receivers perhaps in the entire league. Good pitch, a stretch play. Good block there by number 95, Battle. And then a nice finish to the run by Kinsinger.
He ran right over Don Vitas Franklin. 17-yard touchdown run. And Dan Franz will attempt the extra point. Puts it up and missed it. No good on the extra point. So a balanced drive downfield by the SaberCats, but then a little bitter taste at the end as they missed the extra point attempt. We're underway here at the Nassau Coliseum. The SaberCats scoring on their first possession, and stops, of course, will be at a premium today for both these teams, with Aaron Garcia, the quarterback of the New York Dragons, who is the all-time league leader in touchdown passes. Do you feel like the camera's just right under your chin?
Just a pinch close, so we'll deal with it.
But the big question mark is Garcia and the status of his injured ankle.
Well, you know, he takes so many shots, and we've seen those over the last number of weeks. And, you know, he's hurt his left ankle last week, but surprisingly, it wasn't as a result of one of these shots. Todd Shell said to us yesterday, we've got to protect him better. He's got to be standing up at the end of each play call. And you see here, he's not. And this isn't a isolated incident. It happens way too often, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a game. This is the most brutal one a couple weeks ago, right up against the sideboard.
Here's where he was injured.
Yeah, he just kind of fell back on the turf, caught his toe, and sprained that left ankle. And as Todd Shell said to us yesterday, well, he's going to play today. He's going to be about 80%. Didn't practice much this week. Right. Has that ankle taped up. Had a shot before the game. But we said he just can't take as many shots as he's taken the first couple of weeks.
He's a tough guy. We both talked to him before the game, and he said, oh, you know, you got to play. It's no big deal to him. He's learned to play with injury throughout his career. And, will go today. Well, you know, that injured left ankle.
And right before the game, warming up before the game, this is what happened on that injured left ankle. You know, he caught it again, just like last week.
Similar to last week.
Yeah.
Well, the turf has some uneven spots in it, and that makes it even more treacherous for Aaron Garcia.
You know, I don't think I've met a tougher quarterback than Aaron Garcia. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are tough that play that position. That word sometimes isn't attached to a lot of quarterbacks, but he really deserves that accolade.
San Jose, 5-play, 40-yard scoring drive to take the lead after missing the extra point, though. And here's Don Franklin with a good return of the kickoff, and just tripped up. He was on his way to the end zone, just tripped up at the 20-yard line of San Jose. Don Franklin with a good return for the Dragons.
Yeah, really should have scored. Now, in the indoor game, in a real league football, a kicker must hit it off the net. That was short. Didn't hit the net, so he got a clean catch and then a clean return. He tries to cut and then just trips. A little bit maybe perhaps over one of those uneven spots on the turf.
Yeah, might be. I thought the same thing. 34-yard return, though. So Garcia will have his first play from scrimmage at the 20-yard line of the SaberCats. Will Holder in motion. Here's Garcia looking for Holder, and it's batted down right in the center of the field by James Rowe.
You know, Tom, we talked about you have to hit the net, because if you do as a kicker, some really crazy things happen. I mean, that's what you're trying to do. You get a play like that, you causes bad field position, maybe you get a recovery. We saw one last week. Right. That's even the best. Off the iron, that's called. You know?
That's the one from last
nice
week.
Nice little touchdown. Unbelievable. Yeah, this is last week's New York and Arizona. Yeah. So, you know, that's the real opportunity for the kickers. Hit it in the net, hit the iron, and create a turnover.
2nd and 10. Garcia with protection finds his man Wesley. Wesley stops at about the 1-yard line. They gave Garcia time, and he was right on target to Wesley.
This San Jose defense, you know, we talked a lot about their offense. We also talked about their balance. The San Jose defense, they're good tacklers, as you'll see after this catch, because he goes down hard at the 2-yard line. But, you know, they can play a lot of the different ways defensively. They can kind of press you, bump and run all over the field. They can lay off, particularly their outstanding defensive player of the year, 2-time defensive player of the year, Cleveland Thomas, number 8 right here. This guy's one of the real stars in the league. Go! Sit down!
Here's Filer on the running play. Fumbled the ball into the end zone and out of bounds.
Did that go all the way into the end zone such that it would be a touchback or not? That's the decision you're making.
It is a touchback and a stop for San Jose.
You know, just we're talking about where New York needs to stop. San Jose on the opening series gets their stop.
Todd Shell in a big hole now, down 6-0.
somewhere, there's a man access.
Check in with Lewis Johnson.
All right, thanks, Tom. Down here in the San Jose bench area with a guy who's in sweats who wouldn't like to be. Omar Smith, you've got a problem with the hamstring, which keeps you from playing defensive specialist. How bad is the hamstring?
It's not that bad at all. I had all intentions of playing today, but there's precautionary measures there. Like, they didn't want me to, come out and get hurt and lose me for, a long period of time. So I could have played today, but another week will help me out a lot more.
Now, you've been talking to number one here, Rasheed Davis, who's replaced you at defensive specialist. He has defensive experience, but not special experience. How are you helping him out during the game?
Just everything that I've been able to prepare myself with, I'm just going to let him know what to look for in certain situations, certain motions and stuff like that. And just talk to him on the field, keep him calm. He'll be all right.
Great, 8.5. How's he doing so far?
First series, he's doing A word.
That was the right answer. Okay, thanks. Tom?
All right, Lewis. Well, they had a stop. That has to be an A on the first series. And Mark Grieve on target. He's 3 of 4 now. He just hit Hunden for a first down of 17 yards.
Yeah, in the indoor game, a stop is considered if you just, force a field goal attempt or obviously a turnover as they did last time. That is a stop. And usually 2 or 3 stops a game will win it for you.
Averaging 60 points a game, and you see why. There's another easy toss, and wide open is Rowe. Rowe makes the catch and then driven out of bounds by Franklin, but another big gain for the San Jose offense.
Tom, James Rowe is the only receiver that I'm aware of, number 9, that doesn't wear gloves. Now, you see some gloves bouncing around his waist there, but he doesn't wear them when he's on offense. But when he's on defense, he'll put them on. But, we were talking before the game, I can't think of any other receiver in college or professional football that doesn't wear those very tacky gloves these days. He has very, very large hands, likes the feel of the ball.
Last one went for 19 yards. Grieve has it knocked away by Hunden, away from Hunden at the last minute. Let's check in now with Al Troutwig for an update.
Hey, Tom, I'm with Tony Graziani, Clint Belzell, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. But, Tony, explain why this pass is so hard.
This is one of those plays where one of those passes you have to play in the league for a while. It's a touch pass over the top of the linebacker, and you got to fit into a small space in the back corner of the end zone.
He hit it to Marcus Nash. Las Vegas leads Georgia 7-0. And, Tom, what about Tony saying about Pat jumping off the bandwagon?
Don't be dissing my partner now, Al.
This is going to be a theme. I can say, I'm going to change it 2 or 3 more times for the year's out, Al.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Here's Green, chased from the pocket, throws, and a diving catch made at the 1-yard line. It's made by Jerry Reese. Reese with the reception at the 1-yard line, first and goal, San Jose.
Let Al know I'm picking Notre Dame to win the national championship, too. Would you?
And you were never known as a homer either, I might add.
You saw that touch pass they were talking about in the studio. Tony Graziani, though, those left-handers in particular, we've talked about it, seem to be able to throw all kinds of different passes, the touch passes, and Tony has those 3 different kind of releases we saw just a couple of weeks ago.
Terry Malley has the offense cranking here, although Barry Wagner is stopped for no gain on that running play. Might have lost a yard.
Go wing pop. Wing pop.
Good defensive play by Jerry Sharpe and others.
I know, we're good. Right.
Fake boot.
Let's do it. Right tight, 90, fake 32, wing pop on 1-on-1. Right.
So 4th and goal.
Row.
And if this wing pop, they're going to fake a run, and then a wing who is here should be popping over the middle.
Down.
Reeves pass, incomplete, and there's a New York stop.
Great stop, and that's exactly what Todd Shell's fired up about. They have not been getting the stops, the turnovers that he wanted, a little different focus. He gets his first stop in the last couple of weeks, and is an excited head coach.
Has always been reasonably happy with his choice of hairstyle. But recently, Douglas switched to Progressive Auto Insurance. And if they can shake things up by letting you compare competitors' rates and over 20 other facts and figures, then perhaps he too should step up to the plate. Way to go, Douglas. Think easier. Think Progressive. Visit Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by ADT, America's residential and commercial security leader. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. By Wendy's Classic Hamburgers. It's better here. And by GM Goodwrench, home of Mr. Goodwrench, the one and only GM expert.
Tom, let's take another look at that stop. Grievous looking, trying to get Hammond on that little pop right in here. But he's covered, so he's going to look back to his secondary receiver, number 9, James Rowe. Has to throw it low and away, prevented the interception. But great coverage there by the Dragons. Their first stop in 2 weeks. And that's got to make your head football coach, who also coordinates their defense, very, very happy.
Did not have a stop against Arizona in a losing game in Phoenix last week, so a big stop after they had been stopped by San Jose.
So now they're back on serve, right?
Yes. Garcia almost fumbled the ball, but look at the time he has all day long, and he finally finds Holder wide open. Holder still on his feet, dances his way down to the 15-yard line. There is a penalty flag down.
You know, it's amazing all the times that we have seen Aaron Garcia take shots so quickly over the last 3 weeks, Tom. That time he...
Illegal defense. Number 11, the linebacker was out of the box. That penalty is declined. Result of play, first down.
You know, you could have gone to Jerry's Deli here in order to the pastrami and rye and mustard. I mean, you just don't...
Extra mustard.
Yeah, exactly. But he finds his offensive specialist, Will Holder, who does something with it after the catch. But superb protection. You know, they've got Anthony Hutch back in, number 82, who's playing in there, and they, you know, Marcus Owen, number 66, Jerry Sharpe. That offensive line right there gave him superb protection. You don't see much in this league.
Went for 32 yards. Garcia's pass.
Oh my!
What a catch! Wesley has the touchdown.
My, was that a good throw and a good catch? Indoors, outdoors, in your neighborhood, parking lot, that was a great throw and an equally great catch by Chuck Wesley. You know, Chuck Wesley's really new to this team. This is the second week he's been on the active roster for the Dragons.
That's his second touchdown of the season, his 5th catch. So 5 catches and 2 touchdowns for Chuck Wesley in his second year from Rhode Island. Extra points gives New York the lead as Gary Kroll boots it through the uprights. So New York gets a big stop, and then they come back and take advantage of it with this pitch and catch.
Absolutely. Aaron Garcia, that time he did take a shot, but his eyes were downfield the whole time, so he didn't get a chance to enjoy the catch by Chuck Wesley, but we sure did. Down the field. A perfect throw, and another Aaron Garcia touchdown pass.
Winning the NASCAR championship is about outlasting the other guy. That's why I use new Red Zone Invisible Solid. It's the longest lasting Invisible Solid from Old Spice. So you smell great all day. And if you don't think the scent lasts longer, Old Spice will buy you a stick of something else. Hey, you can't always shower right after the race. Unless, of course, you win.
New Red Zone Invisible Solid in 4 long-lasting scents. Stay in the zone.
I've always done my own wash in college, when I was playing football. Shoot, even during and after my divorce, I always did my wash. You know what? My mama back in Louisiana, she uses a washboard. Hey, how about that wash and dry from Aaron's? Sure does make it easy, though, doesn't it? Ain't these a dandy?
Aaron's makes washer-dryer shopping easy with top-name brands, the guaranteed lowest prices, and everyone's pre-approved.
Fluffy Wuffy PJs. They get the delicate cycle.
With his 22nd touchdown pass of the season, and the extra points give New York the lead 7-6 over San Jose. And Gary Kroll will kick off for the Dragons to Rasheed Davis.
Can't take this play off, as we talked about.
Off the iron, that's a tough bounce. And it'll be a touchback. San Jose will take it at the 5-yard line. And now time for our Baby Ruth Offensive Player of the Week.
5-on-5 Poco. Hold on, ready? Read it now, read it.
Get some inside. Goes downfield, wide open, touchdown number 500. Get some inside.
He's a big tough guy right there from Palm, Texas.
Mike Ozell is having one of those games that you will not forget.
And each week we'll bring you the Baby Ruth Offensive Player of the Week. Clint, the Las Vegas Gladiators quarterback, with his 500th touchdown pass, and the #2 rated quarterback in the league behind Mark Grieve, with Grieve winding up and hitting Schexnayder on this first down pass.
You're talking about Mark Grieve being the #1 rated quarterback. You know, 79% completion percentage this year. 14 touchdowns, no interceptions.
In your career, was that?
If you counted warm-ups, yeah, when there's no defense out there. I mean, the guy is just incredibly, he's got great eyes, great feet, and really well coached by that man, Terry Malley. Terry Malley, the offensive coordinator, has been calling plays since, I think it's 1999, and they've averaged 60 points a game over that time span. Comes from a great family of coaches.
Schexnayder, by the way, injured on the play, now being helped to his feet.
Well, you know,
and they're getting a little thin, San Jose.
Yeah, Lewis Johnson talked a little bit earlier about Omar Smith, and Schexnayder was not supposed to play today, but when Omar Smith was injured in the pre-game warm-ups, they had to bring him back. Yeah, that left ankle.
Yeah. Schexnayder had a bad tooth, and now you can add the ankle. He's got him on all ends.
Oof. Yeah.
Lewis?
The Tom New York defense is missing Lincoln Dupree. He has a sprained left ankle. He's back in the locker room right now. His return is questionable. Todd Shell says he'll wait as long as he can, but Richmond Flowers may be involved later in a change at defensive specialist.
Barry Wagner with that catch. They're dropping like flies here today. I hope you can make it through the game.
I hope to. I hope to. But can you imagine, poor Richmond Flowers, here's a guy that's new to this league. He figures, okay, I certainly can play receiver. Now he's got to play some defense, linebacker. Now they may actually switch him over and play him as a defensive specialist.
Well, just thinks it's fun.
Well, he's quite an athlete, though.
Yeah, he is.
Great family, too, of athletes.
Talking about Terry Malley's history of family involvement in football. Richmond Flowers, too, great athletic involvement from his dad and his brother.
Down!
Mark Grieve, 7 of 10 now. Here's pass number 11. And he's going for the touchdown. Caught by Wagner. And that's Hunted, excuse me. There is a penalty marker down. Penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, these quarterbacks are fun to watch. I know Tony Graziani is in the studio enjoying these guys winging it, but boy, are they accurate. I mean, a perfect...
Holding. Number 55 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. We'll replay first down.
Holding, that'll take a touchdown away, but nonetheless, still a perfect throw. And the placement of the ball, Tom, is what staggers me. I mean, the perfect placement. There's a defender right in front of him, right in between two guys you generally don't see, you know, double coverage in this league. It's mostly man for man, but he got basically double coverage and was able to kind of drop it in there between the two defenders.
Sam Hernandez, though, was guilty of the hold. So Grieve now faces a first down and 20.
I misspoke. I said 79%. It's 78.9. I always like to round up.
Grieve going again for the end zone and overshooting James Rowe, incomplete.
Yeah, we talked
another flag down.
We talked about the lineage of Terry Malley. He's the offensive coordinator, general manager of the SaberCats. Did a great job here. His grandfather, George Malley, coached for 5 seasons at the University of San Francisco.
Against Pop Warner, right?
Absolutely. Pop Warner's at Stanford, coached against him. Then his dad for 26 years. Headed at the Santa Clara program. Terry played for his dad, then was an assistant coach for his father, and then succeeded him as head coach before coming to the SaberCats. So quite a family history of successful coaching in that family.
Inside the final minute of the first quarter, the illegal defense penalty against New York gives San Jose a first down at midfield.
Down!
Quick toss on a screen pass. And inside the 20-yard line and drawing a host of black-shirted defenders. Terrence Joseph, the first to hit James Rowe.
Terrence Joseph, number 23 for the Dragons. One of their defensive specialists is off to a good start. I mean, you've called his name a couple times. You know, he just plays on defense, and so his job is to really kind of knock some balls away, make some tackles, maybe create that second stop that Todd Shell wants so much from this defense.
You think if this playoff before the quarter ends, they do. It's a running play, and it is to Kayana Ina, who will get enough for the first down. So San Jose will have a first down inside the New York 15 when the second quarter begins. That's the end of the first quarter at the Nassau Coliseum, with New York leading San Jose 7-6. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. You're watching the AFL on NBC.
Beginning tonight, NBC will be a criminal's worst nightmare. 2 crime dramas back to back. Stroke of genius. Starting at 9/8 Central, the detective that can't be fooled.
You beat the life out of her. You punished her.
All new Law & Order Criminal Intent. At 10/9 Central, the return of Crossing Jordan.
If the body shows evidence that he's innocent, then I need to see it.
Police!
Law & Order Criminal Intent and Crossing Jordan. Tonight on NBC.
Mo! Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moedel. Gotta go to Moe's. Moedel.
Yeah. Modell's is your arena football headquarters. Where should you go to get your official AFL merchandise? For the best selection of name brand sporting goods, apparel, athletic footwear, and official AFL balls, tees, and more. Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's.
The 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. It's dependable, it's reliable, and now it's available on a car you actually want to drive. Introducing Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. The coverage you want on the car you want. And right now, get no-interest financing on any new 2004 Mitsubishi. Finally, reliability meets excitement. Only at your local Mitsubishi retailer.
You've got your bedroom set, your coffee tables, your armoires, as it were, and you've got the one thing you should be treating them with, Scott's Liquid Gold. Liquid Gold is a cleaner and conditioner. It goes way beyond dusting. It has organic oils that work deep below the wood surface. Do yourself a favor. Try Scott's Liquid Gold. Good for your wood for over 80 years.
Scott's Liquid Gold is available at ShopRite. Always fresh, always for less.
Trouble in the ranks. Mic'd up tonight.
Start the second quarter. Aaron Garcia has thrown a touchdown pass, and the Dragons lead the SaberCats 7-6.
560, what, 5th or 6th? Yeah, 566 touchdown pass by Aaron Garcia.
First down play from San Jose, and Grieve has the touchdown toss to Hunden.
Well, he's got all the throws, doesn't he?
That was a
shot, yeah.
Zipped it into James Hunden. Hunden's 8th touchdown catch of the season. 14 yards that one goes.
The 21st straight game that James Hunden has caught a touchdown pass.
He has the San Jose record for touchdown catches.
You know, Mark Grieve, remember you talked to us last year, actually, about James Hunden. Said he is the fastest guy with whom I have ever played. He said you cannot believe how fast he is out of break, how quick he is off the line.
Dan Franz, who had missed the first extra point, nails that one. And it's 13-7 SaberCats. Grieve has hit 9 of his first 12 passes.
Great protection in there. And then Grieve just steps outside, drills it, and out of that speed and quickness allows you to create, separation between you and the defender. But Grieve stepped out of the pocket, allowed him to get that window to find James Hunden, and that's a good window to look through, believe me.
5-play drive, 45 yards, just over 3 minutes. Hunden with a touchdown catch, and San Jose's up 13-7 on New York.
The AFL on NBC next Sunday at a special time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
I'm here for my massage. These big muscles need some tenderizing.
Okay, cutie, room 5. You're here for the body treatment?
Oh, yeah. My body, your treatment.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
Is there a breeze in here?
It's all here.
Let me guess, stuffed French toast down at IHOP.
Yeah, right now at IHOP, it's stuffed French toast. Sweet cream cheese on the inside, creamy whipped topping, and your choice of fruit on the outside. Served with all your favorite stuff right alongside. stuffed French toast at IHOP. Everybody's packing in just to get a taste. IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
Wireless phone. Welcome to Go Phone Service with flexible payment options, unlimited weekends, and no annual contract. Plus your choice of an LG flip phone and plans that start at $19.99. Go Phone. Only from AT&T Wireless.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by AT&T Wireless. Reach out on the wireless service America trusts. AT&T Wireless. By Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. And by the United States Army, an army of one. Tom Hammond, Pat Haden, Lewis Johnson, Nassau Coliseum. San Jose SaberCats have just taken a 13-7 lead on the New York Dragons. Dan Franz will kick it off to Don Franklin. This one will reach the net. Franklin fumbled it, picks it up, and will bring it out. Broke a tackle, bounced off another man, down the sideline. Franklin finally caught from behind at the 5-yard line. Great return by Don Franklin.
Tachel's got what he wanted. He got a great stop in the first quarter, and now he's got a great kick returned by Don Franklin. So he's got the defense playing well. He's got the special teams playing. Let's go have another look at that play by Franklin. This is the beginning of a 54-yard return. Good blocking to start it off. And then Franklin kind of finished it off. So Coach Shell's got that. He got the defense going. He's got the special teams going. And he's still got one of the great quarterbacks in the game in Aaron Garcia going. Go!
Garcia has hit 3 of his first 4 passes. First and goal for the 5-yard line. Garcia for the touchdown. Catch made by Flowers. Penalty marker is down, though. Flag on the play.
You get the feeling, Tom, don't you, that Richmond...
Illegal defense. Number 25, the linebacker was out of the box. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
And that will stand. You get the feeling that Richmond Flowers is really kind of emerging. You know, I know as a receiver, they say his hands are so strong. He's got a big body, so he's a presence down there inside the 10-yard line.
And speed.
Yeah, great speed. You know, coming into the game, 5 catches for over 100 yards.
And for Flowers, AFL touchdown. The extra point by Kroll is good. Congratulations, Richmond Flowers III with his first AFL touchdown catch.
Coach Shell, you there? Yeah, Pat and Tom up here. We're just curious about your substitution pattern. We heard you talking a little bit earlier to Richmond Flowers. Now, you got Dupree injured, so what are you doing with your substitution pattern?
Well, we had to move Will Holder back to the 2-way, and we'll put Richmond Flowers now as the specialist. Because the linebacker in the box, so DiMattio's going to have to go pretty much the whole game now.
So you have DiMattio playing, who wasn't even suited up last week, who's going to be a full-time player at linebacker. You've got a new offensive specialist, and you move Will Holder back to a 2-way player. There's a lot of changes in just the second quarter.
Yeah, well, kind of been dealing with that, Pat, all along. So kind of been par for the course after week 1. We'll deal with it. That's arena football.
Hey, Coach, do you agree with our assessment that Richmond Flowers is sort of an emerging star here?
Yeah, I told you before that I think he can be a great player, and it's just a matter of him getting better at this game, and he's getting better.
And what Aaron Garcia's ankle, Coach? Any word on that? He looks like he's playing okay.
Yeah, he looks fine. We just got to keep him. He got hit there on that touchdown Chuck Wesley caught. We just got to protect him. We protect him. He'll be okay.
All right, Coach. Thanks. We'll be back with you later. Thank you very much.
All right.
Flowers on the receiving end of the Garcia touchdown pass. Second touchdown pass thrown by Aaron. He's hit 4 of 5, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. The good return by Franklin set it up. And New York bounces in front 14-13.
Seems like a much more energized Dragon team this week than last. Don't you think, Tom?
I think maybe because they stayed in the hotel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Here's Kroll's kickoff. And it'll be out of bounds. So Richmond Flowers, when his friends ask him, what's he doing now? He says, playing in the AFL. We asked him about their reaction to that.
Most of them say, what? And then, then a couple start to realize, yeah, you know what? I think I saw that come on after NASCAR. But I think that it's really catching on, and then you have the other group of them that say, are you crazy? You're going to get killed, especially the ones that know how I play, because I kind of play with a reckless abandon, go out there and throw my body around, and that's kind of how I've always been. Kind of made a mark on as a special teams guy, receiver. They'll come in there and crack somebody and knock them out, and you know that's why I play the game.
We did come on after NASCAR a couple times.
Well, you know, I think we talked about a big upside. Todd Shell was just talking about it, too. He's got speed. He's got great athleticism. He's a tough guy.
Illegal formation, number 82. The defensive end was lined up too wide. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
That was a catch by Wagner that resulted in the first down after San Jose had begun on their own 20-yard line. A flag on the kickoff of New York as it sailed into the stands.
Excuse me, Tom. Look at the coaching now that Todd Shell is doing. Now here is DiMatteo, Cosmo, only in New York.
Cosmo, yeah.
Perfect Seinfeld.
Just call him
Cosmo. Now he's playing that linebacker position. He wasn't even suited up until about 3 days ago.
First and goal, San Jose. Mark Green's pass caught by Rowe right at the sideline. And knocked out of bounds as we go down to Lewis.
Yeah, paging Dr. Johnson again. I feel like a doctor today, guys. Here's an update on Calvin Schexnayder, who left the field with a left ankle sprain. Right now, they're taking an x-ray of that. They don't need to take an x-ray of the broken tooth that he had that was giving him all the problems before. But right now, the big problem is the ankle, and they'll look at him and evaluate it based on the results of that x-ray. John?
All right, Lewis. It'll be second down and goal, San Jose. On the 3-yard line, Mark Grieve, 11 of 14, and a touchdown pass. And a toss. And trying to get over was Kinsinger. Stopped just short of the goal line.
A good defensive play by DiMatteo, just the guy we were talking about, and Hutch, number 82. See the last guy getting up there, number 82? And DiMatteo? Cosmo. Like I said, this is the perfect name for New York, but Hutch just kind of fights through his guys.
You saw that he stepped out of bounds, Kinsinger did there, before he broke the plane to the goal line.
Very good eye, Tom.
Very good camera work.
Yes. We ought to thank our crew. They all got in about 3 o'clock this morning. The crew call was early because of the hockey game last night.
Kinsinger again, bouncing off tacklers and stopped out of bounds short of the goal line. New York top again.
A terrific defensive series thus far.
Outside.
Best rushing team Sacio's defense is facing. Best rushing team in the AFL.
Right tight, Z bounce at 4 on 1. Right. Wag.
He's got a Z bounce, which he called is generally this guy down here on the motion. Off the top.
And touchdown, San Jose. As James Rowe dives across the goal line.
47 rushing touchdowns last year, which is a real phenomenon in this league. Set the league record. I think that's the 7th this year for the SaberCats. And what it really does is give them, you know, kind of a two-way way to control the game. Most teams can just really throw it, but they control the game, particularly in the last minute of each half. And that's when they really are effective running football.
Rowe this season has caught several touchdown passes, now has rushed for one and passed for one as well. Extra point good by Franz. So James Rowe with a rushing touchdown. And San Jose retakes the lead. SaberCats up on the Dragons, 20-14.
An American soldier serves more than his army. He's a selfless defender of our rights and freedoms. He is proof that one soldier can and does make a difference. Sergeant C.J. Overway, an Army of One.
Log on to GoArmy.com.
I will not be afraid of the dark.
I will not feel guilty leaving my dog alone.
I will know my children are safe.
I will finally be able to relax!
A single ADT system can help protect your home and family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and you may qualify to get an ADT system installed for $0 down, plus save up to 20% on your homeowner's insurance. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. ADT, always there. Monday, for the first time ever.
Bring it on!
Fear Factor siblings. And there's only one thing to say about it. Oh, brother. Mama's cooking. It's gotta be rough. Was never quite like this. All new Brothers and Sisters Fear Factor. NBC Monday.
Don Vetus Franklin, dreadlocks and all, awaiting the kickoff.
Well, he told us he hadn't washed his hair since 1998. Or excuse me, not washed. Cut his hair. He had not cut his hair since 1998.
Well, he's going to be looking for you now.
No, cut it.
Franklin, who had a wonderful return the last time he touched it, is going to try to duplicate it. And with a little hesitation, he gets free for a good gain across the 15-yard line. As we try to get free to send you to Al Troutwig for an update.
Tom, when your quarterback throws 2 interceptions for touchdowns, you're going to have a tough time winning in this league. Shane Stafford picked off by Calvin Coleman.
Yeah, the pressure gets to him. We have a breakdown in pressure. He just tries to do too much with this ball. He's got to have some discretion, take the sack.
Glenn, I don't think you could do what he just did. He jumped up on the dashboards and celebrated.
I don't know.
24-7, Tom, back to you.
Hey, Al, I'm now picking New Orleans to win it all. I now have New Orleans to win the whole shebang.
But stand by. That could change
the game.
Richmond Flowers in motion. First down play. Aaron Garcia with a toss to his tight end. And the catch made by Joy Dozier, actually, the running back. Crosses the 20 to about the 23-yard line.
Well, Cosmo, number 15, Cosmo DiMatteo, he just got thrown to the fire. But he comes in, number 50, makes a real good block on Beatty. Yikes. That wasn't really part of the team. Keep your feet.
Staggered Cosmo as well, didn't
he? Yeah, and the French judge, 4.3.
Cosmo played at Tennessee Chattanooga, where Richmond Flowers finished up his college career there.
Fumble on the last play as Dozier got it knocked out of his hands. What was that? Rowe who knocked it out? And they create their second stop of the game.
So San Jose takes over. And the first down pass from Mark Grieve. Perfect for a pretty short game.
Excuse me, Tom. Perfect eyes you saw there by Mark Grieve. You know, he was actually looking to his right, trying to get the ball to James Hunden deep. Kind of almost on his tippy toes, looking, fearless of the rush, and then comes back to the backside, his weak side receiver. So great eyes, great read, great intelligence by Mark Grieve, who, by the way, had a lot of additions this offseason. You know, he added a room to his house. He was a general contractor. Then added a wife and twins.
Added the twins was the big deal.
3 additions.
Flag down. Catch made by Hunden.
That's a busy offseason, isn't it?
That is a busy offseason, and it continues with the twins.
Yeah.
Because, you don't get a whole lot of rest when you have twins.
He said, don't say it on the air, so I promised him I wouldn't. But he says, I get a lot more sleep when we play away from home.
Nose guard was out of his stance at the snap. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play, first down.
Dangerous time here for New York as San Jose bids to get some separation after their second stop of the game. And now trying to push it in to pad their lead.
And that's why Todd Shell's defense needs to answer with their second stop. It really becomes, particularly late in the ball game, just that game of possession. These games are so tight, oftentimes coming down to the very last play. So a stop, and the New York's had 2 of them now. They've been stopped twice. It can be devastating.
Grieve with a pass to Wagner. Wagner goes one-on-one with Franklin. Did he score? Still no signal.
Well, there's a guy who knows how to score.
And apparently did not. Stopped short of the goal line. Log on on to NBCSports.com for much more on the Arena Football League. Pat Haden's expert analysis. Did you hear that, guys in the studio?
Yeah, that's right, expert.
Pat Haden's expert analysis, including his look at the SaberCats title chances.
Yeah.
They're the team of the week.
Oh, I bailed on them. I'm on the voodoo now. I'm on New Orleans.
That's all at NBCSports.com.
And I'm actually going to be commentating a little bit on Tony Graziani's studio performance.
Thank you.
So, Tony, be watching. Be on your best behavior.
Here's a give to Koryabuk, and he's stopped for a loss in the play. New York has been tough against the run today, one thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. An entirely different defensive team, and Todd Shell said to us yesterday, you know, I'm going to change it up a little bit. We stayed in the hotel last night. The home game, they generally don't, so stayed in the hotel, had the team together more. This past week, they spent more time in the meeting room rather than on the practice field, and he actually practiced a little bit later, closer to kickoff time, game time. He said, I just want to give our team a little more focus.
Before their loss at Arizona last week, New York had won 8 straight on the road, so he said maybe it's because we're all together so much, and so he said, next home game, we're going to stay together in the hotel. Toss to Koryabuk again, and he dives across. There's a penalty marker down. The touchdown would be good, but there is a flag down. Koryabuk diving across. Here's the call.
Holding number 97 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. We'll replay 3rd down.
George Williams on the hold nullifies the touchdown run.
Koryabuk, who got in the end zone, although was called back, led the league in rushing last year, and you'd say, oh, that's, what, 1,000 yards, 1,500 yards? No. What was it? It was 250 yards.
250.
Yeah.
And was pretty reliable down close. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet this season. He just was reactivated.
Good call by the official there. George Williams tackled one of the Dragon defensive players.
Green fumbled the ball loose on the carpet for a long time before New York falls on it. And so New York equals the San Jose stop, and the stops on even now at 2 apiece. That was huge for the New York defense, although it looked like Green fumbled without being hit.
But you know what? When that happens, ordinarily it's the nose tackle, Tom, who's pushing that center back so quickly because of problem. I think it was Matt Steeple, number 72, playing nose that created the missed exchange. Yeah, look at Steeple, number 72, gets a little spin move. Dozier, number 43, as well. And DiMatteo, number 15, he's been everywhere. You know, he just got into a Dragon uniform just a couple of days ago.
And got on the loose football, so on the turnover, New York will take over, and now they have to spend a timeout. So New York calls timeout. Aaron Garcia hit 5 of 6, looking for his 3rd touchdown of the game when we come back.
Mr. Goodwrench, you're fast, but I'm going to get you.
Just how fast are you guys in the pits?
We changed 2 tires in 8 seconds.
A little healthy competition for the elusive Mr. Goodwrench. Well, if Mr. Goodwrench does your brakes, rotates your tires, and checks your engine, what are you, the team mascot? I drive the car. Seriously, what do you do?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
License and registration, pal. What? Just kidding. That's nice. What is that, metal?
Baby Ruth, the real deal, has crunchy, whole roasted peanuts. The real deal has chewy nougat. The real deal has rich, creamy caramel. Because whether you're the man in the middle, the guy between the pipes, or a great-tasting candy bar, being the real deal is about what's on the inside. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
Douglas Baker has always been reasonably happy with his choice of hairstyle. But recently, Douglas switched to Progressive Auto Insurance. And if they can shake things up by letting you compare competitors' rates and over 20 other facts and figures, then perhaps he too should step up to the plate. Way to go, Douglas. Think easier. Think Progressive. Visit Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
An NBC original movie event. They were America's sexiest angels.
Biggest numbers we've ever gotten.
But the real story
Farrah.
was anything but heavenly.
She wants out.
They're suing me.
Let him write me out.
My life doesn't even belong to me anymore.
Behind the Camera, Charlie's Angels, an NBC movie event, Monday.
I love it!
Well, one of the unique things about this league, all the motions, New York has 3 of them. The first they call down, just kind of a straight up and down motion. This is Dupree a little bit earlier in the year. It gets going straight. And then they have a loop motion all the way across the field. Again, trying to create some distance and some confusion. And then the third is the moon motion. They kind of go one way and really end up exactly back from where they started. Again, this is Will Holder, or excuse me, Chris Anthony, who's out today doing that moon motion. So all the teams in the league do this, and that forward motion is really kind of somewhat unique to this league, Tom, the indoor game. You don't see it in the outdoor game. Again, trying to create some confusion, trying to get some momentum. Very much a passing and an offensive-oriented game.
And very difficult to cover when the man has a head start running right at you.
You know, that's one of the unique things about Cleveland for San Jose. We actually haven't called his name much. No. He is so good, number 8 right down here, of just kind of bumping, running, and generally catching the guy in motion.
Yeah, stops his momentum. There's the straight motion that time. Garcia hit and sacked back to the 5-yard line. It was George Williams that was all over Aaron Garcia.
All with 330 pounds of George Williams.
From North Carolina State, 330.
He was a pretty quick 330, but he runs right over the fullback, Joey Dozier. I mean, I think you need a big body in him. I don't think you can have the fullback block Williams. Actually fills that helmet up quite well, doesn't he? I mean, it fills that uniform.
Well, the whole, yeah. It doesn't look like there's any space head to toe. Garcia has time here. Plenty of time. All day. There's a flag down as Garcia goes deep. And the catch, wonderful catch. May over the shoulder will have to sort out the flags. There were 2 of them down. It was Dupree, who had been injured earlier. Comes back to make a 39-yard catch in traffic. But 2 flags.
Yeah, wonderful catch. Again, terrific protection by Aaron Garcia. Remember earlier he had great protection in the first quarter. Threw a long one to Will Holder. Again, he gets sensational protection. And then a great adjustment by Lincoln Dupree, playing with an injured hamstring, I think it was.
Illegal contact on the play past the 5-yard zone. That penalty will be declined. First down.
So the big play to Dupree puts New York first and goal at about the 3-yard line.
Just terrific pass protection. Number 69, Jerry Sharpe, the center, did a great job. And that allowed Lincoln Dupree to make that adjustment. But it had not have been for the blocking of Jerry Sharpe, would never had a chance.
What a difference in 2 plays.
Indeed.
Sacked on 1 and then plenty of time. And Garcia has hit 6 of 7. 119 yards and a couple of touchdowns. First and goal.
That down motion right there that we just talked about a moment ago by Flowers.
And a quick toss complete for the touchdown to Lincoln Dupree. The rookie from Eastern Michigan with the touchdown catch, his 3rd of the season.
Aaron Garcia, I think he's so smart. He just knows where he's going with the ball so quickly, Tom, you know? I think as soon as he saw the defensive alignment, he knew exactly where he was going to go, got the ball out of his hand very quickly.
Aaron Garcia missed his first pass. He's hit 7 in a row and 3 touchdowns since then. Rawls extra points puts New York in front. Well, things look bad for the Dragons. They fumbled the ball. San Jose was driving. And then a fumble recovered by New York. Garcia with a quick toss to Dupree for the touchdown. And each team has had 5 possessions and 3 touchdowns. New York leads by 1.
Wireless phone. Welcome to Go Phone Service with flexible payment options, unlimited weekends, and no annual contract. Plus your choice of an LG flip phone and plans that start at $19.99. Go Phone, only from AT&T Wireless.
Pick it up, Stinky. Me? You got no stamina.
Only Odor Eaters has new Sorbitex technology to absorb sweat and destroy odor on contact.
Get tough with foot odor. Get Odor Eaters ultra-durable insoles.
track was.
Hey guys, what are you doing? We're checking out your sponsor, Ditech.com.
Refinance your mortgage with Ditech.com for just $395 in lender closing costs.
I can hear you guys now. Lost another one to Ditech.
Call 1-800-DITECH-1.
Winning the NASCAR championship is about outlasting the other guy. That's why I use new Red Zone Invisible Solid. It's the longest lasting invisible solid from Old Spice. So you smell great all day. And if you don't think the scent lasts longer, Old Spice will buy you a stick of something else. Hey, you can't always shower right after the race. Unless, of course, you win.
New Red Zone Invisible Solid in 4 long-lasting scents. Stay in the zone.
Al Troutwig in New York was set for scores and highlights at halftime on the Wendy's Halftime Report, plus a sneak preview of IMAX NASCAR 3D, which I think we're ready for. See you at halftime. Right now, it's back to Tom Hammond at the Nassau Coliseum.
Nassau Coliseum, New York, ready to kick off. 21-20. Aaron Garcia is off to a great start in this game. There's 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first half. Rasheed Davis awaits the kick by Crawl, and it will not. It hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Hit the scoreboard up top.
You know, every arena is a little bit different.
Overhead structure will be placed at the 20-yard line. First down.
Modell's is your arena football headquarters. Go to Modell's for the best selection of official AFL merchandise and apparel, including jerseys, t-shirts, hats, footballs, and more. Gotta go to Moe's. As you see there on the sideboard here at the Nassau Coliseum. So hit the scoreboard out to the 20-yard line where San Jose takes over, and the clock down to 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
And this is where Terry Malley is a master at milking the clock.
Greaves pass, caught. And Hunden is blasted against the boards by Franklin, but holds on to the football, gain of 16 yards.
You know, we mentioned he hadn't cut his hair since 1998. Our crack director, John Gonzalez, last week did a quick computation, said he saved himself $4,320.
Ouch.
By not getting that haircut.
Yeah, but what about in the game against Carolina last year when he was tackled by his dreadlocks?
Yeah, you know, they actually lost 3 of them. He looks down on the ground and says, dang! And he picked the 3 up and stuck them in his sock. Couldn't afford to lose those.
Down! Greaves pass, Rowe wide open. Rowe stretching for the goal line, did not get in. Stopped just short.
Greaves pass is complete, number 9.
So we're approaching the 1-minute warning, and San Jose threatening.
Yeah, one of the, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league. There's another one in the studio. Greaves 16 and 19, 1 touchdown. But look at those numbers by Garcia. 7 completions, 3 of those have been in the end zone. And that's a guy who's playing about 80% capacity.
Bad left ankle, but Garcia on his game today. There he is, Aaron, waiting his final possession of the half as we have reached the 1-minute warning. Special timing rules in effect. 1-minute warning. We'll be back to the Nassau Coliseum in a moment.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint, while a woman keeps track of millions of dollars in inventory, safeguarding it from the warehouse to your house. And a dad checks on his business from his son's baseball game. What do all these people have in common? They rely on America's #1 security company, ADT. Always there.
Let me guess, stuffed French toast down at IHOP.
Yeah, right now at IHOP, it's stuffed French toast. Sweet cream cheese on the inside, creamy whipped topping, and your choice of fruit on the outside. Served with all your favorite stuff right alongside. Stuffed French toast at IHOP. Everybody's packing in just to get a taste. IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
Yesterday, red-hot Phil Mickelson closed out strong with his amazing birdie on 18. He's in pursuit of the Ford Championship at Doral. Next on NBC.
Tonight, a married couple that like to play naughty. Now someone has murdered her lover.
These two would eat a marriage counselor for lunch.
All new Law & Order Criminal Intent. NBC tonight.
21-20, New York over San Jose in the final minute of the first half. San Jose with the ball just inside the 1-yard line.
And Terry Malley, the offensive coordinator, can play this two ways. Try to score very, very quickly, or take a little time and force New York to use some of their timeouts.
Kiana Ina stopped for no gain.
New York going to use those. New York's going to get the second half kickoff. And again, back-to-back possessions is what you really want. They took it a little late, didn't they?
Yeah, they wasted some seconds.
But they did take it.
So New York has one timeout left, 48.1 seconds. And don't forget to stay tuned for the Wendy's Halftime Report as Tony Graziani joins Al and Glenn in the studio. Plus, get an exclusive sneak peek at the upcoming movie NASCAR 3D, the IMAX experience. Guys already have their glasses on. And IMAX experience, NASCAR 3D opening this Friday, March the 12th. So a lot coming up at halftime and probably some more choice words for Pat and his waffling analysis.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pick 3 or 4 more teams. I may pick New York. They're playing pretty well today. I think Tony's got left-handed glasses.
Have to have.
He's left-handed, yeah.
Have to have. Those lefties are a little different.
Yeah, indeed.
Second and goal. Kiana Ina. Big hole that time. He waltzes into the end zone for the touchdown. Kiana Ina.
Reed was down, getting there very slowly.
Reed took a shot after he handed the ball off.
You know, you see they're going to kick the extra point. There's a lot of times you'd say, why aren't they going for 2? In the outdoor game, a lot of teams go for 2 much earlier. In this game, there are so many scores.
Be a lot more scoring to come, right?
So they just defer the 2-point, going for 2-point conversions till much later in the game.
Dan Franz will attempt the point after a high snap. Rolovich, the backup quarterback, got it down, but the kick hit the upright and is no good. Rolovich did a good job of getting it down. It was a snap that was high. No good. 26-21.
All the interesting men in her life have one thing in common. They're dead.
We got blood.
Tonight, Crossing Jordan is back.
More than one gun would mean more.
Yes! I'm at hockey. Shoot it, Eaglemar, Eaglebert, whatever your name is.
Everything looks better on a big screen TV from Aaron's. Aaron's has the guaranteed lowest price, buy or lease, and everybody's pre-approved.
Off the road, Bunko! Get him! Kill him!
With flexible payment options, unlimited weekends, and no annual contract. Plus your choice of an LG flip phone and plans that start at $19.99. Go phone, only from AT&T Wireless.
San Jose leads New York 26-21. Mark Reed handed off for the touchdown last time and then took a shot and had a word for the official.
You don't really want something like that, do you?
He doesn't need to do that, though, does he? I mean, he knows I don't have the ball. He didn't need to do it. I mean, technically, I don't think it was cheap, but come on. I'm pitching it. It's like, come on.
Still wound up about it,
Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised to see an onside kick here.
Franz with the onside kick, recovered by New York inside the 10.
Yeah, that's what happens a lot in this league, trying to create back-to-back possessions. And, they're hoping New York is going to score actually quickly, and so they're going to get one more possession.
Kelvin Ingram recovering for New York, so they'll have the ball just inside the 9-yard line.
Through 4 weeks of the season, there have been 21. There were 21 onside kick attempts. 24% of them were recovered, which is really a high percentage. We talked about that last week. The ball didn't go 10 yards, right?
Did not go 10 yards.
And, you know, in the outdoor game, you maybe can recover 10%. So they just do it so much more. They practice it so much more, and then they recover so much more.
Aaron Garcia been sharp all day long despite the bad ankle. And up top, Dupree with another touchdown catch.
I'll tell you, great throw because he put it one place where only his guy could catch it. But Dupree, who's playing with an injury, remember the last series caught that long ball where he had to adjust down the sideline. This time, great footwork at the back of the end zone. This is, you know, Barry Wagner, number 2, just playing right underneath him, making it a tough throw, and indeed it was, but just a sensational catch by Dupree. Wow.
Gary Kroll for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick good. So New York with a sensational catch by Lincoln Dupree, his second touchdown catch. The last 3 completions by Garcia have gone to Dupree. 3 catches, 52 yards, and now 2 touchdowns.
How about Garcia? He's only missed 1 pass. He's 8 of 9. 50% of his completions have been for touchdowns. I mean, the guy is on fire. This was just, I think, just a great feel throw. You know, a touch throw. He felt Barry Wagner kind of underneath him. So you couldn't throw it behind him. You really couldn't throw it low. It gives Barry Wagner a chance to go up and knock it away. So he throws it high, but in play. That's a nice catch here by Dupree. He's made 2 of them this half, this quarter. He should be pounding his
Rookie from Eastern Michigan who made all Mid-American Conference twice. Born in Asbury Park, New Jersey, not too far away. Was Rookie of the Year in AF2 back in 2002. So Mark Grebe, already the chin strap fastened and ready to come back on. San Jose has had 3 rushing touchdowns today. 3 different players have rushed for a touchdown.
Wow, they had 9 for the year.
We'll see if New York now with 38.5 seconds tries an onside kick of their own. They will get the ball to start the second half. New York will.
Right. Again, what they're trying to do is have the last possession this half.
Kroll kicks it away. Kicks it all the way into the stands. So that'll be out to the 20-yard line. And a souvenir. Carlson, body language tells you his thoughts on the deal.
Well, he wishes he had onside, right?
Yeah. So San Jose will start from the 20.
Right wing zoom, 50 zip, 1 sail post, 1-on-1.
Right. You know, they have their own set of motions. Their zoom is like the down. Zoom is straight ahead. Where New York calls it down, they call it zoom.
Grebe looks, fires, and completes. That's right at the first down marker to James Rowe.
James Rowe, one of those great players, made the all-Ironman team last year. 115 catches on offense, plays that jack linebacker on defense. He puts the gloves on to play defense. We talked about that a little bit earlier. But, you know, the big target. He's had a great career in San Jose.
115 receptions last year was the San Jose record. Grebe, complete. Barry Wagner to the 10-yard line. Mark Grebe has hit his last 14 passes in a row.
They're going to use a timeout. Their first.
How about 151? How about a run? Okay.
You'll hear some numbers. The numbers in their calls are the routes.
Get it done, all right? Okay.
Smaller numbers are shorter routes.
Right here, all right? Let's go, boom. All right. 21 tough. They have 2, you have 1.
There's Terrence Joseph getting the defensive call. Now Grebe.
Left wing zoom, 37 tough on 1.
Right. Right, obviously a running play to Kayala, trying to use the last 24 seconds.
Corner and then gang tackled at the 5-yard line.
A perfect run. He didn't want to score too quickly. Again, in this league, particularly when Aaron Garcia's on the other side, you know, you give him the ball too early, he's going to score, you know, in 2 or 3 seconds.
Joey Dosen was first hit him. So first and goal from the 5-yard line. The clock stops at 15.6 seconds. And San Jose has one timeout left.
Hey. Did you say something? Hey, ref. Hey.
You always should know the referee's
You say
name.
something to those DNs at some point because they...
Is that a trick of the
Oh, yeah.
Still going at
long
me.
ago?
I always did.
Like Ed Manning?
Yeah, Ed
I'm
Manning.
not saying it's a penalty.
My man in our booth up here. But you always know the referee's name. And kids' names preferably if you can. White kids.
Birthday.
It helps, I'm telling you.
Just tell Barry to stand on right. Tell Barry to stand there.
Let's go, Cat. All right, 21 or 1 cup. Hey, 1 cup. Hey, you run like a delayed one, okay? So just stand there. If the guy's off, I'm gonna get it to you, okay? But other than that, it's gonna be like a 9-smash combination, okay? Right wing zoom, 50, 1, 9 smash on one-on-one, right?
You're really telling Barry Wagner, number 2. You're really my outlet guy. Right down here. I'm going to try to get here, but if he's not open, you're my outlet guy. A little hitch.
Green with time, and the pass out of bounds. No touchdown. Stops the clock, though, with 10.3 seconds. James Rowe held out of the end zone, but it'll be...
I think it was a perfect play for them. Yeah.
If they can score now, it will have been the perfect play.
Well, they still have a timeout, so...
Fifth strike close, 38 toss, on one, right?
And another pitch play to the fullback, the toss play. Keala.
Touchdown! And it comes with 6 seconds left in the half. The 4th rushing touchdown of the half by San Jose. 2 of them by Keala Ke'ana'ina.
And we talk about Terry Malley, how well done in the pronunciation there.
Got a little too fast. There was like a runaway train.
But Terry Malley, we talk about the master of using the clock. He and Ed Hotchkiss out in Los Angeles. Just they're so creative. And that's where the running game can really help you. Use the appropriate amount of time.
The extra points have been a problem, though. This one is up and good by France.
You know, with 6 seconds remaining, still that's a good amount of time for Aaron Garcia.
Especially the way he's been on fire.
And remember, the returner must try to come out of the end zone. Ordinarily, you'd say, hey, let's give Aaron Garcia some time to take a knee in the end zone. You cannot do that in this league, right, Tom?
Right. Got to advance it.
So Ed Manning up here in the booth, our expert official, shaking his head. Yes, it's nice for you to be along with us, Ed. Who actually named all the Mid-American Conference teams a little bit earlier.
Would you have known if he was right or not?
No. A lot of directional schools there when you get those Michigans in there. Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan. Still ball a little excited there. Did you see him?
I saw it.
Hey, how about Aaron Garcia? What a day he has had. 8 of 9, 4 touchdowns, 131 yards, not throwing an interception. Perfect throw over the top to Wesley. Quick throw to Flowers, the second different receiver. This is the long one to Dupree, third different receiver he's used.
And his receivers have helped him out with some sparkling catches today.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Now, those are numbers, you can't do a lot better than that, can you? I guess you could go 9 for 9.
Well, but look at the 4 touchdowns. That's without an interception. Can't do much better than that.
But you know what? I think the big stat for New York, they've had 2 stops on defense. They had no stops last week against Arizona, 2 stops this weekend.
France to kick off. Lincoln Dupree is deep.
Lincoln Dupree's been asked to do everything.
Bounced off his leg.
They want him coming out of the end zone. Yeah.
Use as much time as he can.
Yeah, really interesting strategy by San Jose.
And that'll end the first half. So San Jose wanted him to run a while, to use all the time and not score and bring the half to a close. That's exactly what happened, but There is a penalty flag.
You learn something about the strategy every week. I mean, that was a situation where San Jose just kind of went down to the 25-yard line and stopped.
93 on the kicker team was offside. Will mark 5 yards off from the end of the run. One play and untimed down.
Oh, boy.
So that was could be a costly miscue. Everything was right about the strategy, the execution.
Until that.
A little bit, huh?
And Gary Kroll, the kicker, is out on the field now to attempt the field goal attempt.
So one untimed play before the half ends. It will be an apparent field goal attempt by Gary Kroll of New York. And New York uses his final timeout.
And they try to make it a 7-point game. Another interesting thing in this league, Tom, these kickers all come out with a little piece of tape. You know, they put it down to help the spot.
Kroll just signed last week. This would be his first field goal attempt of the season. We saw his numbers what he did last year with Buffalo.
When you're a kicker in this league, as we've talked about, you have to be a pretty good tackler, pretty good athlete as well. A lot of these guys have some high school, safety in them or high school linebacker in them. It's one of the things that I know that Todd Shell looks for in a kicker is the ability to tackle. As funny as it sounds, here's that little piece of tape that he puts down, and so now the holder, Chris Bode, knows exactly where he wants the ball to go.
Kroll with a deep breath, his first field goal attempt of the season. It is up, and it is true. So the one untimed play to end the half is a 32-yard field goal by Gary Kroll. And so New York takes a field goal to end the half, 33-31 San Jose. Now let's go to the NBC studios in New York and join Al Troutwig. Al?
This is the Wendy's AFL on NBC Halftime Report.
And welcome to 30 Rock. Al Troutwig, Glenn Parker, and LA Avengers quarterback Tony Graziani in our studios. How big was how that ended for the Dragons with the penalty and the extra 3?
Well, that was huge. Seeing that they get the ball coming out in the second half, they got their possession back. Now they're up one possession. If they can continue to score, they'll win the game.
Now, talk to me about what the Dragons are feeling about themselves with the fumbles that tend to just really blow out a team, but the stops against the team that so far this season was almost unstoppable.
Yeah, they have not been stopped this year, really, until this game. This is the first time we've seen a defense put pressure on Grebe. He usually has great pressure, and he's been getting hit, and that's one thing Tony was talking to us about.
And to the New Orleans voodoo, we say, be careful. Tim Markham is very much a great deal to deal with when he's angry, and he's pretty angry right now. Let's go to the highlights and take you to Philadelphia, where John Bon Jovi's Philadelphia Soul will try to stop the Chicago Rush, who haven't lost yet this season.
Yeah, this is a go route. That says you run faster than the other guy and you get in, and that's how this happens. It's a great one for Jeremy McDaniel with a good throw. But I'll tell you what, they come right back with Philly. They're going to run the ball. They're going to try to be physical. That's one thing. Travis McDonald gets in with the run with good blocking. But here's the story with Chicago. Chicago runs the ball well, and it's because their offensive line very good at moving in space. They get out in front, get big blocks, and they're up 27-20. Winding it down the first half.
Take a look at some of the numbers in this game. Raymond Filio, one of the big reasons why that this team is undefeated, and he is willing to carry it in as well as throw it in. We go to the Nassau Coliseum, where fumbles and defensive stops were a big part of what the Dragons were doing.
Yeah, but you see Aaron Garcia here, gets the ball out quick in the red zone and hits Wesley for the touchdown.
Do you say thanks to your receivers when they do that?
Oh, definitely. They're hooking them up.
Mark Grebe is very, very good, and James Hunden is a fabulous target.
Very accurate. Throws a laser here, buys some time in the pocket. Good touchdown for him.
And when the special teams comes up with a play like this, Tony Graziani, what does it do for the offense when they come onto the field?
Oh, it totally helps, especially when you're playing a defense like San Jose. When you have to go to the short field like that, you really thank your special teams and your special teams coach for that.
Don Vitas has great hair. I'm very jealous. San Jose SaberCats watching Garcia. High wire act.
What a catch. Comes down, 1 foot in. That's all you need in arena football. Touchdown.
Late field goal for the Dragons, so it's 33-31. Dragons ball to start the second half. All eyes, as always, on the quarterbacks, Mark Grebe and Aaron Garcia. Let's take you to New Orleans, where the Voodoo start in unbelievable fashion against Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah. Early strike right away to Aaron Bailey. He gets a good double move, gets him behind on the down motion, gets him behind the guy. That's the reason they score. But pressure is the story here so far. Big Stafford in the end zone. He's going to get pressure up in his face. When that happens, the ball gets away from him. Picked off by Lamont Moore in for the touchdown. Turnaround happens again. This time, breaks down in the protection. The pressure gets to him.
Swallow it.
Swallow the ball. Instead, he throws it up. This time, it's picked up by Calvin Coleman, and he takes it in. Pressure is the story and the reason for this game being the score that it is now. New Orleans playing very good defense.
And you know what New Orleans did after that touchdown? Onside kick, recover, run it in for another touchdown. Tampa Bay with a little bit of a comeback in that second quarter, but it's still 31-14. Now, Mr. Tony Graziani, who was victimized by Georgia and Leon Murray on Monday night. I hate to keep bringing this up, but they're doing to Las Vegas what they did to you.
Yeah, you see Dosdale here with a great drop shot in the corner of the end zone over the linebacker touchdown. And, you know, Georgia's a tough team. They had a good run here.
Leon Murray to Markeith Cooper. That's one of his favorite targets. That tied the game at 7 in spite of the fact that Las Vegas had the majority of the ball possession time.
Yeah, that's arena football for you. You know, it doesn't matter how long you have the ball. It's what you do with it when you have the ball. There you see Younger going in for the touchdown there, and it's 34-20 at halftime.
And Georgia is starting to pull away 34-20 in a battle of 2-2 teams. Georgia the stronger one right now. So what's the theme here with what we're seeing so far as you watch 4 games for the first time in your career?
Yeah, my head's spinning a little bit. This is a lot tougher than it looks, that's for sure.
Glenn, advantages, disadvantages so far?
What I see is Chicago running the ball, doing very well, and San Jose being physical. Those are two things we know about both those teams.
Still to come on our halftime coverage, we'll be talking to Tony about his time in the NFL. Plus, we've got a preview of IMAX NASCAR 3D. That's all to come here on the Wendy's Halftime Report. Thanks for joining us. Back in a moment.
1, 2, 3. Intercepted. Off the top. I love everybody back in the field. Come on, rumble in the house.
This is Wendy's headquarters, and they sent me a letter. Dear Mr. Wendy, that's me. Thanks for your kind words. Yes, Wendy's hamburgers are delicious because we make them fresh when you order them. And you're right, our classic double with cheese does rock, especially the combo. But to your self-appointed title of Mr. Wendy, unofficial spokesman, our lawyers insist that you cease and desist from representing us.
Thanks,
It's corporate speak for keep up the good work.
Hey, you!
Wendy's Classic Hamburgers. It's better here.
Hey!
Better than fantasy football? AFL fantasy football. More touchdowns, more yards, more excitement. Free salary cap football. Win cash prizes. AFLfantasy.com, powered by Sandbox Plus. Log on for registration and rules. Play AFL Fantasy Football.
Back here for halftime coverage, the AFL on NBC. Glenn, how about you had all your runs to the Super Bowl? How about Tony Graziani talks about his with the Atlanta Falcons? What do you remember?
Yeah, it was a great time. 1998, we were the Dirty Birds. We had a good run. We were 14-2 in the regular season, and we basically rode the arm of Chris Chandler and the legs of Jamal Anderson all the way to the Super Bowl.
We had Tommy Maddox in studio who said you were just a victim of bad timing. Your skills did not fit the set and the plan of Dan Reeves.
It's just one of those systems that you need a big arm. You need to have a Michael Vick arm, a John Elway arm to be successful in that system. And I didn't have the big arm they were looking for, so it was tough for me, but I did the best I could.
Any regrets that you didn't get, say, in a West Coast system where you could have made the reads and had that type of career that you had probably wished for?
I think I would have been a little bit better suited for that type of system. I could have got the ball out a little bit quicker, made my reads, maybe scramble around a little bit, made some plays, kind of like Steve Young did. And it's just one of those things that didn't work out for me, but I'm having a great time here in the Arena League with the Avengers.
We're having a good time with you today, and Tony will stick with us for second half updates. Meanwhile, the current NASCAR season kicked off with a bang at the Daytona 500. Starting March 12th, IMAX NASCAR 3D debuts in IMAX theaters across the country. Turn up the volume and check it out.
is coming to IMAX. And it's unlike anything you've ever seen. Projected on a screen up to 8 stories high with 12,000 watts of digital surround sound that puts you behind the wheel. NASCAR, the IMAX experience. Rated PG.
Starts March 12th. Whose idea was this? But we do like 3D and IMAX, right? Oh, yeah. I don't know about you in 3D, though.
Very intimidating.
All right, that's halftime. We'll join you for updates throughout the second half, and we'll be doing that here on NBC. We'll be back right after this for the games in your area.
This has been the Wendy's AFL on NBC Halftime Report.
All the interesting men in her life have one thing in common. They're dead.
We got blood.
Tonight, Crossing Jordan is back.
More than one gun would mean more than one shooter.
With new faces.
I want my own case. I will handle this in my own way.
An all-new season.
In every body at every crime scene, you have all your answers. You just have to know where to look.
Crossing Jordan returns. NBC tonight after Law & Order Criminal Intent.
The world's more entertaining with the new Sony card. Because every time you use it, you earn points towards Sony products. Electronics, games, movies, music, all the things you want from Sony get closer with every purchase. And it comes with some other things you want too, like a 0% introductory APR, no annual fee, and 2,500 bonus points after your first purchase. Call right now to start earning points on your credit card purchases. As much as 8 points for every dollar you spend. Don't wait. Discover the benefits of being a Sony card member. Call now. With your first purchase, you'll receive 2,500 bonus points, more than enough for your first reward. Turn your everyday purchases into Sony products with the new Sony card. It's your window to the things you want.
The 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. It's dependable, it's reliable, and now it's available on a car you actually want to drive. Introducing Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. The coverage you want on the car you want.
And right now, get no interest financing on any new 2004 Mitsubishi.
Finally, reliability meets excitement. Only at your local Mitsubishi retailer.
It's PC Origin & Sons March Markdown Madness. This weekend, take 10% off our new low price on everything we sell. 10% off all home appliances. 10% off all TVs, big screens, wide screens, LCD and plasma screens. 10% off all DVDs and home theater, camcorders and cameras. 10% off home audio, portable audio, and mobile entertainment. 10% off home computers, cellular phones, and more. It wouldn't be madness without the markdown. March Markdown Madness at PC Richard & Son.
Trouble in the ranks, mic'd up tonight.
Getting ready for the third quarter at the Nassau Coliseum, with San Jose leading New York 33-31. And let's take a look now at our GM Goodhines expert advice.
I love it when you call me an expert. You know, some of these things easier said than done. How about trying to stop Aaron Garcia? 4 touchdown passes in only 8 attempts. Did a phenomenal first half. And then for the Dragons, Stark Mark Grave. Yeah, that you can do that. That's easy. 15 straight completions did Mark have. Got some outstanding wide receivers himself. And the Dragons, they really have to improve their rush defense. 4 rushing touchdowns by the best rushing team in all of the Arena Football League.
You can't get analysis like that just anywhere.
No, you got to go to Goodhines. Yeah, that's awfully good stuff, isn't it? You were impressed, much I could tell.
As you said, Grebe has hit 15 in a row. Garcia's hit 8 in a row. 2 hot quarterbacks matched up here today. New York will get first possession in the second half. And the France kickoff is taken by Franklin. God-beaters Franklin's been hot on the returns today, and he's still rolling, knocked out of bounds close to midfield. And just before they took the field, Todd Shell told his team what they needed to do to win this game.
All right, we got to go back out, win this half, take care of the football. This game will be ours. All right, let's go now. Let's play football. Let's go. In 1 half.
Don't you think they're playing a lot better than they did last week?
Absolutely.
I think getting these guys in the hotel,
Yeah, that was in the
practice
hotel.
schedule.
Must have been a good hotel.
Must have been a good hotel. But, you know, he changed the whole schedule of the week. And, boy, they've had to adjust a lot on offense because now Richmond Flowers, number 4, playing offensive specialist.
And Garcia going for Flowers. Touchdown.
Well, Tom, their coaches have talked to us a couple times about the strength of Richmond Flowers' hands. You know, it's such an asset for a wide receiver to have those strong hands because when the ball gets batted, sometimes when you can be well covered and the defensive player can actually hit the ball or your arms, but if your hands are so strong, you just can't knock the ball loose. Great catch there by Richmond Flowers.
But the extra point is missed. So the New York lead, 37-33. Richmond Flowers is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this league. His second touchdown catch of the day.
Hey, who's going to make the first? Aaron Garcia, baby. Just put it there, we'll catch it.
The AFL on NBC next Sunday at a special time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Baby Ruth, the real deal, has crunchy, whole roasted peanuts. The real deal has chewy nougat. The real deal has rich, creamy caramel. Because whether you're the man in the middle, the guy between the pipes, or a great tasting candy bar, being the real deal is about what's on the inside. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
My name is Victor Koryabuk. I was born in the Soviet Union. My family and I, we moved to America when I was a teenager. Today I'm a striker driver in the United States Army. Growing up, I was told to be like everybody else. In America, it's different. You can express yourself. You can show people who you really are, what you can do. That's why I don't take my freedom for granted, and I'm willing to fight for it.
Catch an American success story. See what's next for Victor at GoArmy.com.
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert?
Can I help you?
No, I'm good, thanks. Goodwrench. He put a supercharger in your car.
Yep. What's it to you, bub?
Easy there, Leadfoot. New transmission. Who's my guy?
Mr. Goodwrench.
Fresh fuel filter?
Mr. Goodwrench. Mr. Goodwrench.
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
My friends call me Buffalo.
How come?
Don't know.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by GM Goodwrench, home of Mr. Goodwrench, the one and only GM expert. And by Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal. New York has taken the lead on a one-play touchdown drive. Aaron Garcia has hit 9 of 10 passes. Mark Reeve has had a hot hand. He's hit 15 in a row. How about this, Pat? Garcia with 9 complete passes and 5 touchdowns. Onside kick.
Yeah, that's pretty good throwing. No, that was one of those pop onside kicks, you know, where they try to make it go real high, but it went out of play.
Joe Jacobs.
You can just really, you know, what's the theory here? Just trying to change the pace of the game, even though they've stopped, you know, San Jose twice. The thought was, hey, let's try the onside kick, make them play on a shorter field where it's harder to score. Richmond Flowers is back playing defense here. He was the offensive specialist for a while until the Dupree came back.
And Mark Reeve wide open for the touchdown. There's another one-play touchdown drive.
I love it when you call him drive.
That one went to Hammond, who does this little dance. And Reeve has hit 16 passes in a row.
We talk about James Hammond being so quick. You know, this is a guy that's played a lot of football over the last year, played the entire AFL season last year, then played an entire Canadian League season, and then came right back, had a month off, and then training camp started for this season. But he hasn't lost any of that quickness that Mark Reeve has talked to us about.
Extra points have been a problem on both teams today. High snap. And it ricochets in. Good for Franz. Rolovich, the backup quarterback again, did a good job on the hole. It was a shaky thing, not like this dance, the extra point I'm talking about. 40-37.
That really is.
Now, gentlemen, today's paintball match, we will be playing for Bud Light. What are you doing?
Oh, you said it's for Bud Light.
It is for Bud Light. You have to capture this flag first. There it is.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
Take a Bud Light.
It's all here.
What? That was offside. Face back. First down. Way to go, baby.
Go for two. Lips.
Time out. Come out. Time out. He's all over him. Interference. Right in his hand. Oh.
So glad I'm not playing anymore.
Touchdown. Yes.
Every armchair quarterback needs a super big screen TV. Aaron's has a great selection at the guaranteed lowest price. So do the math.
Game over? Game over? What?
What's better than fantasy football? AFL fantasy football. More touchdowns. More yards. More excitement. Free salary cap football. Win cash prizes. AFLfantasy.com, powered by Sandbox Plus. Log on for registration and rules. Play AFL Fantasy Football.
10 lead changes in this game today. Biggest margin, San Jose has been up by as many as 6. New York by as many as 4.
I'm going to call you on a lifeline if I ever need you. You just remember everything.
And Don Vitas Franklin remembers that Franz will try to get it off the net. And Don Vitas...
You know, when he hasn't hit that net, he's had some good returns, hasn't he?
He has indeed. So Franklin awaits the kick. 2 touchdowns scored already in this third quarter on a one-play drive.
You know what New York has really done a much better job of than we've seen the last couple of weeks, Tom, is protecting Aaron Garcia. He hasn't been hit nearly as much as he has been the last few weeks.
And San Jose with an experienced pass rush up front, and usually they crank it up about the third quarter. Tough bounce, that's a live ball. Flag is down, and it would be a San Jose touchdown if it stands.
I think that the kicking team has to be outside the 5-yard line. Barry Wagner says it's a hold.
Holding by the return team. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So it is a touchdown. That's a live football. It took a funny bounce off the net and a cheap one for San Jose.
Remember we saw early in the game, we ran some videos, some crazy bounces off the net. That went into that slack net, and then it would usually drop straight down. Rasheed Davis, number 1, makes a recovery. Yeah.
Great speed to get down there. He was on the ball before Franklin ever had a chance. Look at that.
Well, you know, the interesting thing, every single play in this league on offense or on defense or on the special teams is a scoring opportunity for both teams. So the kicking team makes the recovery in the end zone. It was Wesley, number 7, Chuck Wesley, injured on the play.
See him falling backwards there, and he's still down.
Left ankle.
Wesley still in the end zone being tended to by the trainers. So a bizarre play. And Rasheed Davis racing downfield, falls on the football in the end zone for the San Jose touchdown. And our 11th lead change in the game. Let's go to Lewis.
All right, Tom, here's another injury update here on Calvin Schexnayder, who left the game early in the first half. Had his ankle x-rayed, and the x-rays show that he has a hairline fracture. Now he's done for the game. He'll be on crutches if you see him behind the bench. But we're told they'll reevaluate him once he gets back to San Jose. So Calvin Schexnayder lost by San Jose as we watch what happens here to Chuck Wesley. Tom?
All right, Lewis. Wesley helped to his feet.
Yeah, for Todd Shell, you know, tough deal. You know, Chuck Wesley out. He's already missing Chris Anthony, is you know, outstanding two-way specialist. He's not able to play today. You know, he's had to move people around. Richmond Flowers, he's had to make an offensive specialist. Now Richmond Flowers, the last series, was playing kind of their two-way receiver linebacker. So again, once again, Todd Shell is going to have to shuffle the deck with his roster. Will Holder now back in on defense, number 26. The last couple of weeks, he's been their offensive specialist. Remember, Todd said to us last week that we wanted him on offense every single play because he's our best offensive player, but now he's going to have to play both ways.
Extra point attempt by Dan Franz. And it is good. So as Wesley is helped to the locker room, San Jose celebrates some separation. First time we've had this much distance between the two teams. San Jose SaberCats up 10.
Favorite book. One of these animals was the pterodactyl. Not a good time for a headache.
The moment of choice, Tylenol or Advil for that tough headache. Truth is, Advil liquid gels are proven to work faster, stronger, better than Tylenol on tough headaches. Advil liquid gels rush relief right to the pain. Gentle on your stomach, too. For faster headache relief, advance to Advil Relief.
Hey guys, what are you doing? We're checking out your sponsor, Ditech.com.
Refinance your mortgage with Ditech.com for just $395 in lender closing cost.
I can hear you guys now. Lost another one to Ditech.
Call 1-800-DITECH-1.
I was cooking dinner and I just fell asleep. I tried to get out, but I collapsed. I couldn't call for help. But ADT did. They saved my life.
An ADT monitored fire detector actually signals ADT, so we can call for help. Call now and you may qualify to get an ADT system installed for $0 down. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP today.
Hey, just curious, is there a law saying that if you eat late it has to be bad?
No.
Well, then why do people eat that when they can have a classic hamburger made fresh from Wendy's?
You work for Wendy's?
Well, unofficially.
Off the cuff.
Okay, then.
Wendy's pickup window is open till midnight or later.
Yesterday, red-hot Phil Mickelson closed out strong with his amazing birdie on 18. He's in pursuit of the Ford Championship at Doral. Next on NBC.
Tonight, a married couple that like to play naughty. Now someone has murdered her lover.
These two would eat a marriage counselor for lunch.
All new Law and Order Criminal Intent, NBC tonight.
Eric Garcia, the New York Dragons, now trailing San Jose by 10. At 11:53 the third quarter, so just over 3 minutes in to the third quarter. And Franz will kick off. Lincoln Dupree is deep.
They changed the return man after the last error by Donvitas Franklin.
And another tough line, then a live ball. Scramble for it, and New York comes up with it. Batted around like a volleyball, and finally Dupree cradles the football. So in the first 3 minutes plus of the third quarter, that's enough time for 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, you don't dare go to the refrigerator in this league, we found out. A little over 3 minutes, 3 touchdowns. The first one, a great catch by Flowers. And then Hunden cuts back and gives it a little shake. And then a crazy play off the net. We just saw another crazy play off the net.
So let me get this right now. Third quarter, 2 plays from scrimmage, 3 touchdowns.
Go! Yeah, remarkable.
Garcia to Dupree. Shakes one tackler and then is topped at the 10-yard line.
Now, how about Lincoln Dupree, number 17 there, who made that recovery off the net. You know, he tried to catch it before it hit it, and then he sprints out about 15, 20 yards, cleans up the Lincoln Dupree.
And a good thing he did.
Yeah, a presidential play.
It was batted to him like I think Dozier's the one that sort of slapped it into the arms of Dupree. Dupree has 4 catches for 56 yards and has caught 4 in a row from Garcia. Garcia hit as he gets it to Flowers at the 15-yard line.
Oh, did you hear that hit? He got hit by Johnson, number 27, Brian Johnson. And
Gippies, he gets up on that hurt ankle, that injured left ankle.
You know, we last saw San Jose a few weeks ago against Tony Graziani in the studio. They didn't get to Graziani much in the first half, but they started that third quarter off of the bang and really got to him.
Experienced pass rushers. including Sam Hernandez, who is the all-time AFL leader in sacks.
They have 3 players, defensive players, who have over 20 career sacks.
Garcia going up top. Will Holder, touchdown. Yard score. Garcia to Holder.
6th touchdown catch of the day. Again, after he got hit the last time, good protection by Stiefel, by Harris, by Hutch. Allows him to find Will Holder, who had beaten Cleveland Thomas. You can do that a couple of times, but Cleveland usually comes back and picks one off.
Yep. Here's another crazy kick. Hits the upright and bounds through. It's good. So Holder, the hero of the moment. How many more touchdowns do we have in the third quarter?
Whatever sport you like to watch, football,
Yes!
baseball,
Steve Rack 3. Way to go, baby.
basketball,
Take it to the hoop, bro. Yes! Oh, yeah. I'm at.
hockey.
Shoot it, Eagle Eaglebert, whatever your name is.
Everything looks better on a big screen TV from Aaron's. Aaron's has the guaranteed lowest price, buy or lease, and everybody's pre-approved.
Off the road, Marco! Get him! Kill him!
You know, Will has had a great game. You know, Will Holder we're talking about, number 26. You talk about a quarterback and the receiver being on the same page. I mean, this is one of those motions, you know, that down motion that we showed a little bit earlier. And Cleveland Thomas, number 8, got burned on that press coverage, that jam coverage. But it was the vision and then the arm strength of Aaron Garcia to get him the ball. So it was the vision of Aaron Garcia, the good route running of Will Holder. And that's a pretty good combination today. It's a great combination any day. Yeah, he has developed. You know, this is only his 2nd year in the league. And, you know, Todd Shell should take some credit for Will Holder's development. Remember, he was on the practice squad when Todd Shell came to New York after their 0-4 start a year ago and said, hey, this guy was unbelievable.
He was making every play every week. He was hurting the regular team, the varsity team, if you will, from the practice squad, and said his coach, we sign this guy up. Crawl kicks to Davis. Off the net, takes a funny bounce. Davis corrals it, and the ball sits still loose. No, Davis managed to hold on despite the hit from Flowers, who was first down, and then Franklin joined him. And don't forget, coming up next on NBC, final round coverage of the Ford Championship at Doral. Final round coverage coming up next on NBC. Craig Perry, 13 under after the 3rd round. Scott Verplank, Gene Sowers, Phil Nicholson, all in the hunt. That's final round coverage of the Ford Championship at Doral. Coming up next after Arena Football here on NBC.
Joey Dozier down for the Dragons. Plays, you know, probably the most physical position in football is that two-way position of linebacker and fullback.
Near disaster here for Davis.
Donvitas Franklin, number 9. Great coverage by Donvitas. Boy, there's a lot of wacky plays off the net. This is earlier in the game. We show all the things that kind of happened the last couple of weeks off the net. Remember those, Tom?
Yep.
Again, the idea is to hit that net, hit the
I think it adds a great element to the game.
But, you know, you always have to be alert. I mean, they usually put kind of a shortstop up here to kind of help the guy, the first guy if he misses it, the return man. Bodies flying everywhere. Here's one of the great ones. Hit that iron, touchdown. We saw one of those today. This is our game last week. Arizona. Gatewood makes the recovery. Seen a couple of wacky bounces today, too.
And the injuries continue to mount for the Dragons. This is Joey Dozier. Meanwhile, quarterback Aaron Garcia missed his first pass attempt and is 12 for 12 since then, and half his completions have been for touchdowns.
Yeah, he is. And remember, he's playing with a bum left ankle. Did hardly practice
Might
this
want to
week.
tweak the other one.
Absolutely. You know, you guys, we've talked about him so much. 2 seasons, he's had over, or at least 100 touchdown passes. 2001, he threw 104. Last year, he threw 100, even though he missed 2 games. Just remarkable. Tough guy and a great thrower.
And another great thrower now. Mark Grieve on first down. Quick toss, and it's incomplete. Or is it? Yes, it's incomplete. It'll be second down as Richmond Flowers back playing both ways again, talking to Todd Shell for the defensive call as the Jack linebacker. And we told some of the story last week. His dad, Richmond Flowers Jr., played football at the University of Tennessee, was an All-American football player, and was also a world-class hurdler. Flowers playing in the NFL. New York Giants. That pass completes a row. And here's a look at the family. Richmond Flowers Jr., Richmond Flowers III, who plays now for the New York Dragons. There's another son that plays football at Ole Miss currently, but the story of their family is fascinating. It takes a while to tell, but Richmond Flowers Sr. was the Attorney General of Alabama who took on George Wallace over integration. Richmond Flowers said, you know, we ought to follow the law. We ought to integrate. And George Wallace didn't agree. Many of the people in Alabama didn't agree. And here's the pass. Grieve shot. Franklin delivers a blow, the ball into the stands. And this player's grandfather, there's so many Richmonds you get confused, but Richmond Sr. was the most hated white man in Alabama, they said, because he fought George Wallace over integration and, of course, eventually prevailed. And then his son, Richmond Flowers Jr., grew up in Montgomery, Alabama. I was talking to Doug Dickey, the former Tennessee coach, yesterday about the recruitment of Richmond Flowers Jr. to come to Tennessee, and he said we had to hide. We had to go around because his dad was so reviled in the state, and they didn't want anybody to see the Tennessee coach talking to him because Bear Bryant was trying to recruit him, that we had to go out in darkness. And he said, I don't know how many track meets I went to watch him run the hurdles. But Richmond Flowers Jr. came 3 times within a 1/10 of a second of setting a world record in 3 different events. His best event was probably the 120-yard hurdles, 110-meter hurdles, as it is in the Olympics. And
well, you know, his junior year at Tennessee, we're talking about Richmond Flowers' father here, but his father's junior at Tennessee, he was an All-American football player, and then he had an incredible track year that spring of 1968. And those are the years where they went back to back to back, and he beat, you know, Willie Davenport, some others in the hurdles, was really kind of a leading possibility for a medal in the 1968 Olympics. Actually blew out his hamstring as he was preparing for the Olympic trials, and still wonders what it would have been like had he been healthy. Would he have won perhaps one of those medals? That Davenport won the gold that year, and he had beaten him, I think, 3 times that spring.
He had beaten him in a meet and had come so close to setting world records. And now here is his son, who is an emerging star in the AFL. And the story of Richmond III, this player, is pretty interesting, too. His dad called Duke and said, my son's interested in playing at your university. He went to Duke. He got his undergraduate degree. Here's a 4th down play, and I don't want to take away from this. On 4th down, Grieve with a pass, and it's complete for the first down. James Rowe with a catch, and first down San Jose. Terrence Joseph to stop after 12 yards. Just to complete the story of this man, Richmond Flowers III, completed his eligibility at Duke, got his undergraduate degree at Duke, but still had 1 year of football eligibility left. So he went shopping on the internet to find a team that threw the ball a lot. And he found the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. His friend was playing quarterback there. He transferred because that's a 1AA school. He did not have to sit out a year. He could play right away. Caught 80-some passes there in his final season of eligibility in college football. And here he is now in the AFL, and a very engaging young man.
He didn't have to go on the internet to find a good quarterback in the AFL.
No, he knew right where to come.
Come to New York, you know you have Aaron Garcia, and he said that to us last week. He said, hey, I was looking for a team that had a great quarterback, so I came to New York, and boy, he certainly hasn't been disappointed with Aaron Garcia, and Aaron Garcia loves his upside.
Incomplete pass. Grieve has had 2 of his last 3 incomplete now after hitting 16 in a row. So it took a while to tell the Franklin family, or the Flowers family story, but
nice filibuster there, Tom.
Yeah, that was good. It's a fascinating story.
Well, his grandfather really was a remarkable guy. As you said, you know, he took on the Ku Klux Klan, he took on George Wallace, took on, just trying to enforce federal law. And it was interesting, 30 years later, those same people are now telling the grandfather, you know what, Richmond, you were right. There's a big old 69 in for the Dragons on defensive end. That's Jerry Sharpe. And when I say big old 69, Jerry, 325 pounds.
Like a sumo wrestler.
Well, there's a story there, Tom, which we'll get to in a moment.
Down!
Grieve, protection, pass though, overshot the mark and intercepted by Joseph. Terrence Joseph picks off the errant pass from Mark Grieve. Looked like a mixed-up pass between receiver and quarterback.
And you don't see that much with Grieve and any of his receivers. I mean, that's the third stop for San Jose. The last time we saw San Jose against Los Angeles, they were, I think, 9 for 9 in their possessions. So this defense playing much better for Todd Shell. He was looking for some turnovers. He got one. And Terrence Joseph makes the interception. He's had a very good game as Joseph starts with some pressure by Jerry Sharpe. We talked about Jerry getting around the lower body of Grieve, prevented him from following through. So good rush, good play by Joseph. That's the first interception of the year by Mark Grieve.
And the first of the year for Terrence Joseph as well. Flag down here while they sort it out. Let's go to Al Troutwig for an update.
Hey, Tom, a 20-0 run in any sport is a surprise, but how about the Chicago Rush being taken out by Philadelphia on a 20-0 run? Yeah, Browder with the fake toss, and what that does is allow that the man is a stock block and then go. That sets it all up off the play action for him. Big, loud John Scott. Big, loud crowd in Philadelphia. The Soul 34, the Rush 27. Back to you, Tom.
Tom, I'm now going with Chicago. I'm now picking Chicago.
Did you hear that, guys, in the studio? Chicago.
They got the best team I've seen.
Team of the hour.
They're going to win it all. And I'm not kidding this time. I'm not kidding.
Will Holder in motion. Aaron Garcia catches the ball once and a wounded duck. And that is intercepted by Wagner. Garcia hit. A wounded duck flying downfield. Wagner had dead aim on it and gathered it in. So back-to-back interceptions from two hot quarterbacks, Grieve and now Garcia.
He couldn't follow through because the Kinzinger, number 25, hit pressure. But how about the career? That was a great play by Barry Wagner, but just the career of Barry Wagner in his 13th year has done or has made plays like this seemingly every single game and at the important times of game. That's what I think is interesting about Barry's play. He always does it when his team really needs that momentum turn.
Twice has been the AFL MVP. See his career ranks. Grieve's pass behind Wagner there.
Yeah, you go back to that graphic. He's first in all those categories. I mean, the best, two-way player for a long, long time. We saw Hunky Cooper last week. Hunky's a great one. Most of the players around the league you talk and say Barry Wagner is the all-time great player. Over 600 tackles. You mentioned the 6-time Ironman of the Year. My goodness, that is incredible. The stamina to be able. He's not missed a game in, 7 years? He's not missed a game.
In this league, that's incredible.
Playing both ways.
Well, the first 40 minutes of the game, we had 40 pass attempts without an interception. We've had 2 interceptions on 2 passes in the last minute. There's the completion. Grieve, even though we had to go down to a knee to get it. It's good for 13 yards.
James Hunden, we talked to Hunden before the game and about his time in Canada. And I said, what's so different about the outside game? Because he said, hey, I want to try the outside game one more time before I, finish my career indoors. He said, it takes the ball so long to get to you in the outside game. And he says, it just seems like you're waiting for so long. And the other thing he said, you can read defenses so easily in the outdoor game. It's so slow.
I think everything speeds up when you play indoors on a 50-yard field. Almost a one-handed catch by Williams. Couldn't quite gather it in, though.
That's one of those plays that Terry Malley throws in from time to time. The throw to the big man. One of the 3 offensive linemen is a designated tight end. He's the one who comes out of the huddle with his hand up. But it really slows down the rush. When you feel like your quarterback's getting too much pressure, sometimes you throw a little screen to your tight end. See, there's Williams raising his hand right there. The tight end again. I doubt it. They'll go to him 2 plays in a row.
That makes him an eligible receiver, though, when he raises his hand. Grieve chased from the pocket, lines up and fires a strike, but short of the first down to Rowe.
Very good pressure by Kelvin Ingram, number 95. I think McGill was in there, even our man Jerry Sharpe. You know, we're talking about Jerry Sharpe, number 69. Now, there's a guy, you know, what do you do in your offseason? Let's watch George Williams on Battle. Excuse me, on Ingram. But Jerry Sharpe, with 325 pounds, you know, what he does in his office, he actually is an amateur sumo wrestler.
I wouldn't want to see him in a thong for some reason. I don't know.
Even he said he was embarrassed.
Ina twisted down after no gain on the play.
But, you know, Jerry's actually a rather accomplished sumo wrestler. The last 2 years, he's come in second place in the All-North American Sumo Wrestling Championship.
Well, he grew up in the shadow of the Golden Dome, didn't he?
Well, different Gold Dome. Rahway, New Jersey is where he grew up, where the Rahway prison is. And he said he could see the Golden Dome from his back porch. He said he learned what not to do. And going back to the sumo wrestling thing, Tom, though, the thing that was funny to me is, hey, I'm in the heavyweight division. It starts at 270, but there's no top end. And he said, I'm wrestling against guys 500 pounds. Oh.
There's a flag down. That'll be an interference call on Joseph.
I'd like to see two Jerry Sharpes coming at you in a little thong.
Yeah, he's 3 1/4. He's one of the little guys.
Yeah, he is.
Pass interference. Number 23 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Obvious interference call on Joseph with 45 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, that's okay. You know, he saved a touchdown, and Joseph, who came up with an interception a little earlier, knocked the ball away from a receiver in the first quarter. He's had a pretty good game. And there's that continual coaching Todd Shell does. On the plane ride out to Arizona last week, he had Richmond Flowers sitting next to him, coaching defense for half the flight. And then Larry Koryabuk had him for the other half of the flight, coaching offense to him.
Greaves' pass. Is it caught by Rowe? Yes, it's ruled a catch at the 5-yard line. Dupree knocked him out of bounds, knocked him into the sideboards at that point and out of bounds. As the final seconds tick away in the third quarter. Well, a third quarter that began with a lot of offensive fireworks, and then the defense started stepping up the pressure on the quarterbacks. Had a couple of interceptions, a little bit of everything in that third quarter. And the third quarter comes to an end with San Jose leading New York 47-44. Could be a lot of action in that fourth quarter, too. Will it be offense or defense? Fourth quarter about to unfold. We'll be back to the Nassau Coliseum after these messages from your local station. You're watching the AFL on NBC. San Jose coach Darren Arbett rallying his troops for the fourth quarter, which will unfold with San Jose second down at the 5-yard line of New York.
Yeah, double-digit wins the last 4 years for Darren Arbett. Two-time AFL Coach of the Year.
Hargreaves' pass intercepted. Intercepted by Lincoln Dupree down the sideline. Finally knocked out of bounds. So
what a game he's had.
After Grieve had been flawless, now 2 interceptions, and that one returned 29 yards by Lincoln Dupree, who is the definition of Iron Man today.
Absolutely. Remember, a while ago, he made that great recovery off that crazy bounce off the net. In the first half, we saw him made a great adjustment down the sideline to make a catch. Here he just kind of hides. Grieve never sees him. Remember, Mark Grieve was one of 4 quarterbacks who had not thrown an interception all season long. Coming in today's game, he's thrown 2. Terrific play by Lincoln Dupree.
So the last 3 possessions have ended with interceptions. Garcia backpedaling, gets it to Filer. Rodney Filer out of the backfield to the 30-yard line. This game has really turned around after the quarterbacks couldn't make a mistake, and now
it's all defense now.
3 straight interceptions.
You guys got Billy route. Hurry up. Let's go. Right. We're going on 2. Don't jump. Why yo-yo? 50. Billy-o on 2. Ready?
And why yo-yo? We talked about their motion. This is kind of a variation of what we showed you, the down motion, where he's going to go back and forth.
Go!
Instead of down, they call it yo-yo. Got it.
Oh, and Garcia took a shot after the play had been whistled dead.
He took a shot from number 93, and it wasn't number 56. It was number 93, Joe Jacobs, who changed his number from 56.
55 offense was offside. 5-yard penalty, second down.
He meant defense.
55 defense, yeah. Sam Hernandez.
But it was down here he takes the shot. Sam Hernandez is offside. Number 93, yeah, he just kind of rolled into what he just kind of got knocked into. But Joe Jacobs was number 56 and said, hey, I wasn't performing up to my old expectations. He's a great sack leader, so I wanted to change my number. That's one of the stories we heard.
Well, the other is that he got no respect.
Well, they thought maybe some of his tackles were getting attributed to number 55, so he wanted some separation in the numbers between himself and number 55, Sam Hernandez.
I can attest that some of their numbers are hard to distinguish. Rasheed Davis makes the tackle on that play, short of the goal line.
How about Cosmo? Cosmo continues to make his name felt here in New York. That name is DiMatteo, excuse me, Cosmo DiMatteo. That name, Cosmo, at least, has been around for a long time with Seinfeld.
Like Richmond Flowers, played at Tennessee Chattanooga. Flowers, we told the story a while ago, finishing up his eligibility at UTC. Garcia for the end zone. Holder, touchdown.
Oh, man.
A one-handed snag of the Garcia pass. These receivers are putting on a show today.
It's incredible. Because, you know, Cleveland Thomas, remember a couple weeks ago he said, I like to get underneath receiver, force the throw at the top? Cleveland Thomas, number 8 for San Jose, was in perfect position. But it was an even better throw by Garcia. Holder motion. Now watch how he gets underneath him. I mean, there's about a 2 square inch where he can throw it. And then a fantastic catch by Will Holder. Wow.
Holder, 3 catches, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Garcia's thrown his 7th touchdown pass of the game. This one, put an asterisk next to it. Beautiful catch by Will Holder. (51-47).
The AFL on NBC next Sunday at a special time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
We're 1st Platoon Charlie Company, and we were part of Operation Iraqi Freedom.
On the battlefield, you gotta have an officer who can think on his feet. We had that.
Lieutenant Walker came to us from ROTC. From day one, he showed us what he was made of. Every one of his plans came together like clockwork.
It didn't matter if we were in training or in combat. He was right there with us.
He never asked us to do something he wouldn't do.
That's the kind of leader you want to follow.
He had confidence and dedication, so we did too. He's our lieutenant.
And wherever he goes, we go.
Meet the man who led the way and find out how he did it. Only at GoArmy.com.
Round-the-clock service, you'll feel really good riding with Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by Old Spice, stay in the zone, and by the United States Army, an army of one. With our producer Jim Bell, director John Gonzalez, Tom Hammond, Pat Haden, Lewis Johnson, Nassau Coliseum, 11 lead changes today. New York and San Jose, and the Dragons up on the SaberCats 51-47 with 12 minutes to go in the game. Crawl to kick off. And off the net. Cleveland Thomas with the kickoff return to the 11-yard line. And now we have time to take a look at our U.S. Army Iron Man of the game.
You know, a lot of candidates, actually, but Lincoln Dupree wins it today. Fantastic catch in the back of the end zone. And then just did a great job of hustling on what could have been a turnover and making the recovery on that kick. And then the sensational defensive play. So you saw an offensive play, you saw a special teams play, and then the interception.
That's our U.S. Army Iron Man of the game. In every phase of the game, Dupree has been sharp today. James Rowe with a catch as we go to Al Trautwig for an update in the studio. Al?
Hey, Tom, Pat's most recent Arena Bowl pick is in good shape after a defensive stop. It's a blocked field goal, essentially, that preserves the Philadelphia Soul's lead.
You got to protect the inside gap. They don't. Chris Ryan, a.k.a. Soul Train, gets through to block this one down.
And when you have Soul Train on your jersey, you better make plays like that.
Yeah, you better.
34 for the Soul, 27 for the Rush. Tom, back to you.
Well, you know, I'm surprised actually more kicks aren't blocked in this. You know, 'cause there are a lot of those funny snaps, and we've seen a bunch of them today.
Mark Greaves on target with that pass to the 25-yard line to midfield.
Well, you know, Mark Greaves came into this town with having not thrown an interception in 14 quarters, and in the last 2 possessions, that really has been a result of some pretty good pressure put on by the Dragon front, and then some clever plays, in particular by Lincoln Dupree.
Greaves went 14 quarters of this season without an interception and has thrown an interception on each of the last 2 possessions. Have a screen pass set up, and Joseph was there almost before the football got there.
What a game by Terrence Joseph, number 23. He's got, you know, an interception. He's got the other interception.
Yeah, he nearly beat Wagner to the football there, didn't he?
Yeah. And he's made a couple of stops, knocked some balls away. Say Anthony Hutch, who's been a big part of protecting Aaron Garcia today, got up very slowly.
New York can't afford many more injuries.
Exactly. And that's bringing Starsky and he gets hurt.
How about Hutch? He's going to make it. He's a tough guy, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
He's in the news. Check out Monday's edition of USA Today for complete coverage of the Arena Football League, including box scores, stats, league leaders, and more. Let's log on to AFLFantasy.com, powered by Sandbox, for complete AFL fantasy stats. Starsky and Hutch. I knew you'd get it in there sooner or later. Wagner took the first attempt of a tackle by Joseph, and then gets a couple more yards before Flowers and DiMatteo stop him.
The thing about Barry Wagner, he is a big, strong target. You know, 225 pounds. We were talking to San Jose coaching staff a couple weeks ago, and he said, you know, particularly on defense, he just kind of throws people away.
Your man Hutch just limped off the field, by the way.
Bring in Starsky out. He took quite a shot. Marcus Owen, number 66, in for him.
Down!
Mark Greaves chased from the pocket, flag down as he throws it away.
Matt Stiefel, number 72, in the face of Mark Greaves. Yeah.
Holding, number 91 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
And let's check in with Lewis.
All right, Tom. Well, San Jose quarterback Mark Greaves and his wife Erin Greaves welcomed identical twins Ava and Madeline into the world back on December the 3rd. And you have a break. You're here watching the game. And I'm wondering, how is your superstar quarterback husband handling fatherhood?
Well, I think he's doing a great job. You know, he goes to practice in the morning, works really hard, and then he comes home, and I would say arguably he works even harder, taking care of the girls, sometimes by himself, you know, so I can get a break. So I think he's doing a great job.
But here's the big question, Aaron. It does, as he takes a sack there, it's a rough play for him, but does he change diapers?
Oh, yeah. He definitely does his share of changing diapers. In the beginning, he was the sole diaper changer. That was our deal. I fed them, he changed their diapers, but now, you know, we split up the work.
Well, listen, I've got a little gift, a present from myself, Tom Hammond, and Pat Haden. Here's a package of diapers. They're just a little short of 60 in this one. Let's see, I think there are 15 diapers a girl per day, right?
2 days.
Right, and there's a truckload of these outside the arena for you after. How's that? Wait a minute, it's Sunday. I can't tell that. Congratulations to both.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, it's Sunday. I can't lie.
He's a tease, isn't he?
There's a false start after Greaves stumbled and was sacked. Yeah, no wonder Mark likes to come on the road. This whole diaper changer for a while. Wow.
Well, you know, Terry Malley was saying this when he went to training camp. It was a big relief for Mark because he got a lot more sleep.
Do you think that the Twins are old enough to have any of Grandma's banana cake yet?
No, I doubt that. You know, the Greaves, the big fans of Mark, his parents, Rich and Shelley, and Shelley makes that banana cake, which I'm told is absolutely fantastic.
Well, we don't know firsthand, though.
Well, we had one bite last year, but
you had a bite.
A long time, yeah. Waiting for that FedEx package of the banana cake.
Down!
A brazen plug for banana cake. Please. That pass almost intercepted by Franklin. He had his hands on it, could not hold on.
They're gonna start checking into hotels for the home games. They're playing so much better on defense than they did the last couple of weeks, Tom. Joseph, and that time Donvitas Franklin nearly had the third interception of the day.
In fact, Rose sort of turned defender here to knock it out of his hands, I think.
Well, you're right. In this league, you play offense, then you play defense, and you're right. He did knock it away. Otherwise, Franklin makes the interception.
So third down and 32. Wide open to Wagner. Down to the 15-yard line, short of the first down, tackled by DiMatteo.
Barry Wagner still making his presence felt in critical situations. You know, as we talked about, it's not just the plays he makes, but when he makes them. And seemingly the most important times of the game. A forced fumble again. Then an interception. And he has 2 stops all by himself.
Wagner with about 30 tickets to today's game as he came home. Glen Cove, New York, his home.
Look at, you see, Kayala couldn't get on the field over there. Number 44, he was drenched in tape.
Kayana Ina.
Kayana Ina. Kayala. Kayana Ina.
Field goal attempt upcoming on fourth quarter. Delay of game call against San Jose.
He got stuck over there on the sideline. You didn't see it. You were concentrating on something else. For me, seeing all here in these arenas. He couldn't get off the bench area. He had a bunch of tape stuck in the guy pulling away from it.
You got to quit using those 3D glasses. That's why you see all.
Yeah. Tony Graziani.
39-yard field goal attempt by Dan Franz.
Trouble with the snaps, right?
They have had this one a little high, but not any problem. And the kick is plenty good. So Franz with a 39-yard field goal pulls San Jose within one. 51-50 New York.
About options. Now more than ever, so is your wireless phone. Welcome to Go Phone Service with flexible payment options, unlimited weekends, and no annual contract. Plus your choice of an LG flip phone and plans that start at $19.99. Go Phone, only from AT&T Wireless.
Get a little out of line. The best thing about being a woman is the prerogative to have a little fun.
The new Chevy Colorado Crew Cab has the biggest interior in its class. So if you're ever uncomfortable, it won't be because of lack of space.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Everything's bigger in Colorado. An American revolution.
Let me guess, stuffed French toast down at IHOP.
Yeah, right now at IHOP, it's stuffed French toast. Sweet cream cheese on the inside, creamy whipped topping, and your choice of fruit on the outside. Served with all your favorite stuff right alongside. Stuffed French toast at IHOP. Everybody's packing in just to get a taste. IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
NBC tonight, 2 American Dreams events. A soldier loses a friend, and the wedding everyone's been waiting for as a surprise.
Dad, someone wants to talk to you.
All new American Dreams, NBC tonight.
Fourth quarter miscues have cost the New York Dragons the last 3 games. Week 2 against Chicago, missed PAT, and an unsuccessful 2-point conversion. The difference, New York lost by 2. In week 3 versus Dallas, Aaron Garcia's timing was off. His pass deflected and intercepted. Dallas won 56-44. And last week, Garcia's interception and a funny bounce off the net cost the Dragons the game against Arizona. And now with 5:41 left, Todd Shell's team clinging to a 1-point lead.
The difference this week for the Dragons in the fourth quarter, they had the air conditioning at their back. They're playing with the air conditioning.
Franklin out of the slack net. Donvitas Franklin returns to the kickoff return roll and gets only about to the 3-yard line. You'll recall he was replaced, at least momentarily, by Dupree, and back in that role again. There's a flag way back upfield.
Well, again, look at,
Number 95
Mark Grieve
on the kicking team was offside. Well, called 5 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Mark Grieve got off to that great start, cooled off, and then has thrown 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, Aaron Garcia, who's thrown more touchdown passes than anybody in the history of football, has thrown 7 today. Last year when he threw 100 touchdowns, he only threw 10 interceptions, 10-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, which is phenomenal. The outdoor game, if it's 2-to-1, that's great. But he was 10-to-1 last year.
And closing in on 28,000 yards passing in his career. That one won't go for many yards.
Let me know when he gets there.
Cosmo.
Would you let me know when he gets there?
I'll let you know. I'll be at 2 times over.
He's got some help. He's got some help from his wide receivers today. Some great catches. Early in the game, that was Wesley. And then we saw that earlier, Dupree at the back of the end zone. The long fly ball to Flowers. A remarkable one-handed catch by Holder. So 4 different receivers making life a little bit easier for Aaron Garcia.
Flowers winding up and going in motion. Garcia going for it. There's a flag down. Here's Flowers. And Thomas knocks it away, and he draws 2 flags.
Yeah, I think Richard Flowers may have pushed off of Cleveland Thomas. Well, he did. I'm not sure what they're going to call.
Well, while they figure it out, there's a conference in progress. Let's confer with Al in the studio, see what he has to say.
Hey, Tom, while you make sense of that, how about this? Chicago's rush have 5 touchdowns today, all on the ground.
Yeah, McMillan here. Easy pitch. I mean, what do you say other than there's nobody out there?
But Glenn, Keith Gispert has missed 2 field goals and 2 extra points. Philadelphia's lead is still 7. Tom.
All right, Al, and Pat is trying to decide who he's going to pick this hour for his team to win it all.
I kind of like New York now.
We had a holding by the offense, number 95. We had pass interference by the defense, number 8. We had pass interference by the offense, number 4. Those penalties will offset. Replay, second down.
My goodness.
Thank goodness. Can you show us all those?
Well, I think we're going to see them, all 3 of them. First of all, you're going to see, if you can see him here, move early. Hold, excuse me. He's got the takedown.
That's
an absolute takedown. Yeah, you got to call that one, right? Now, here come the 2 pass interference penalties, 1 offensive and 1 defense. There's one. I've never seen that, actually, in all the years. On a 1 pass play, have offense and defensive pass interference. Have you ever seen that?
No, I've never.
Those are actually good calls because they were both pushed off.
Do-over. Garcia. Wow, he wins that one complete to Holder, who can't get away, but still a big gaining play. And Garcia really had steam on that. Wagner tackled him, but after 25 yards.
New York's got some young, emerging players. Chris Anthony not be able to play today is one of them, but Will Holder, as we've talked about a couple times, and we've seen some tape of him, is the other. Look at that little window that Garcia can visualize and see all the way down as he's going to the ground. He's watching Will Holder. He needs to get the ball a little bit earlier to him. He breaks the tackle and scores.
Devin Wyman was putting the pressure on Garcia. First down. Flowers in motion. Holder on the catch. Screen pass. Trying to reverse his field. Picks up a block. Touchdown.
couldn't have run it any better, Tom. It looked like a crazy leg play.
The trifecta for Will Holder. A hat trick here against San Jose.
Gosh. Remember, it was just a couple of weeks ago where he had the back-to-back-to-back plays, offense, defense, or offense, special teams, defense, and then the 3 touchdowns today.
Gary Krall's extra point attempt is no good. The drama continues. It's a 7-point game.
Yeah, that was an important extra point. Well, watch the run after the catch. That's the staggering thing. Picked up a good block by DiMatteo.
And Aaron Garcia has thrown 8 touchdown passes today.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint. While a woman
in Miami and here in New York, out on Long Island, nice day as well, and a good football game. New York and San Jose, 7-point game. There have been 2 missed extra points by each team. Aaron Garcia has thrown 8 touchdown passes. Will Holder has caught 3 of them. 4 different receivers have caught touchdown passes. Cleveland Thomas off and running to the 10-yard line where San Jose will put it in play. Thomas looked a little shaken up after being tackled. Tomorrow night at 8/7 Central on NBC, don't miss an all-new Fear Factor. Brothers and sisters team up and face off in the ultimate sibling rivalry. A special brother-sister Fear Factor Monday night at 8/7 Central on NBC.
I did that with my brother Paul. We shared a room for about 16 years.
Growing up was a Fear Factor.
And I want to tell you, we went after one another. Cleveland Thomas down, and, you know, hit those sideboards. You know, they look so benign, so soft and cushiony. Is that a word?
Cushiony? Cushiony?
Cushy, whatever. But in any event, he just smacked into that and went down. They're not that soft.
And they cannot afford to lose the Defensive Player of the Year season ago.
The 2-time Defensive Player of the Game.
And let's take a look now at our ADT Defensive Play of the Game.
Well, there's been some really good stops, but this one was as good as a guess. Lincoln Dupree just kind of hiding in there, and Mark Reeve had been so careful with the ball most of the year through his 2nd interception as Dupree stepped in front of it.
Cleveland Thomas, the former Seminole from Florida State, Defensive Player of the Year in the league as a rookie, and again last year, 2003. On his feet, but the offense of his team, San Jose, has been stopped on 3 straight possessions after taking a 10-point lead.
Cleveland Thomas has been remarkable. 19 career interceptions in a little, 2 years and 4 games. He's returned 4 of those for touchdowns. He's returned 10 kicks for touchdowns in those little over 2 years. Just a great player. I mean, talking to James Rowe yesterday about, or excuse me, before the game, he said, I'm just so glad that number 8 is on my team, that I don't have to play against that guy.
What I think is so impressive about him, we've seen him several times be burned, for touchdowns, and he never gives up, and invariably, late in the game, seems to make a play to preserve a win. And it's amazing that he can never get down. He has that perfect attitude for a defensive back.
Well, you're going to give some up in this league. You may give up 4 or 5 touchdowns and still have played well. But he always seems to come up with that one stop which turns the game.
Todd Shell upset about something with the officiating crew.
Number 1 is no longer a 2-way player for New York.
So some sort of substitution mix-up by the Dragons. And we're inside 2 minutes to play. Mark Green's pass is complete. Rasheed Davis with the catch. And a flag, a late flag comes down on the Joseph hit.
Personal foul number 9 on the defense, hit the player after the play, be 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
So Joseph makes the hit, and then Donvitas Franklin comes in and is called for the personal foul.
It was after that tackle.
Well, there's after the, I guess it's on the throwdown. He was already out of bounds. Whistle had blown.
Well, I'll tell you what, Donvitas Franklin and Joseph have played very, very well.
Yes, they have.
Down!
Minute and a half to go in the fourth quarter. First down play. Mark Reed hit and sacked at midfield.
Flag down. I think because
flag is down. Yep.
You know, it's funny. I was watching Terrence Joseph, and they were trying to run a pick. San Jose was. He got caught with one of the receivers and ended up holding him.
There is no foul on the play for offensive pass interference since the quarterback never threw the ball.
There it was.
Second down.
Play. They called the pick.
Yeah. So Josh White is credited with the sack for New York.
You know, give Todd Shell some credit. He changed his roster up a little bit by carrying 3 fullback linebacker types that he usually just carries 2, but he's got a fresh one right now in White, number 40, playing the fourth quarter.
Second down play approaching the 1-minute warning. Davis with the catch. Ball's loose. San Jose recovers. Ruled down anyway.
Yep.
So we have reached the 1-minute warning here in New York. And the Dragons are leading the SaberCats by 7, 57-50.
Mr. Goodwrench, you're fast.
Dan Thomas in the hallway after being injured. And his team down by 7, but San Jose with the ball at the moment. With 11 lead changes in the game, San Jose led by 10 at one point. New York enjoying its biggest lead right now. That's the timeout situation. Todd Shell and the Dragons trying to hold on here in the final minute of the game. Green fumbles the ball. Then he picks it up. And the play will be blown dead even though Green never went down.
They're really good nose tackle play. Again, when you see those plays, as we talked earlier, I think it was Tim McGill, number 91 for the Dragons, who just gets right into the face of the center, and then the exchange is fumbled. Second time, at least the second time we've seen that today.
All right, Pat, here it's going to be fourth down now. Fourth down and very long for San Jose. 30 seconds to go. 5 of 6 on fourth down conversion. Fourth down at 18. Mark Reed rolling, firing for the end zone. Broken up. No play. Donvitas Franklin broke up the pass on fourth down.
Now what? Is that the fourth stop by this New York defense again? What a turnaround. Much like when Todd Shell came here a year ago and turned it around from week to week. Against Arizona, they couldn't slow him down. 4 stops today. And those two guys, number 23 Joseph and number 9, have played magnificently back in the defensive backfield.
That's right. On fourth down, the ball goes over.
Now,
they might stay staying all week in a hotel.
Yeah, you keep it going. Now, in this league, unique to this league, you just can't take a knee. You've got to try to advance it.
Would you ever have thought that the SaberCats could be stopped on 4 straight possessions?
Absolutely not. And we saw them against Los Angeles. They scored 9 for 9. I'll tell you, if the Dragons can hold on, Todd Shell, who just did a great job of changing the pace for his team this week. I mean, what a lift to be able to beat a great team in San Jose and stop that 3-game losing streak.
San Jose stops the clock with 15 seconds.
I tell you, one thing I would tell Rodney Filer is to hold that ball with 2 hands. I mean, in this situation, there's no sense of messing with it. And this is one of these things. I wouldn't pitch the ball either, too, Tom. I would hand it off. Sometimes you see the pitches bounce off the shoulder pad. I'd actually hand it to a guy like they did on that play.
Just 15 seconds left, though, and San Jose down to one timeout. Garcia's had a big afternoon with 8 touchdown passes. Mark Reed's wife, Erin, is behind her husband there.
Go! Set on!
Finer again. This time he does pat hold it with 2 hands.
The coaching staff got on that as well.
San Jose spends its final timeout. 10 seconds left. Aaron Arbett's unbeaten string with the SaberCats in jeopardy here in New York. And don't forget, golf is coming up next.
You know, I'm making all sorts of predictions. Bill Mickelson is going to win a major this year. How about that?
Pretty bold prediction there.
And he may win the AFL championship also.
The Ford Championship at Doral follows AFL football here on NBC. 10 seconds left. There's a pitch. The Filer, who's upended, but stays in bounds.
Timeout.
I said a moment ago they'd used their last pat. You're right. That is their final timeout.
But so with 4.3 seconds, you know, again, I think you run wide again. Again, you have to try to advance the ball. Quarterback can't take a knee. That's why I think this game is interesting, too. There's still a lot of strategy going on with 4 seconds. Larry Barrett. Maybe just call hopper, which is an option route. Maybe just throw it high and long and hope the ball stays in the air for 4.3 seconds.
Hang time, huh?
Well, you know, in the outdoor game, you would. You could throw. Yeah. There's ceilings and nets in here that you know, you can't have the ball stay in the air for 4 seconds.
It is 4th down.
Go! Down!
Garcia throws one. It's complete. DiMatteo carrying tacklers into the end zone just to make sure.
Unbelievable. So that's 9 touchdowns for Aaron Garcia. What was his record?
Garcia holds the record with 11 touchdowns back in the 2001 against Carolina. Now what a game Garcia had. He hit 19 of 21, 9 touchdowns and an interception. 19 of 21 for 285 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Well, you know, he averaged.
And a bum leg, is right.
Michael Church, the defensive coordinator of San Jose, giving him the congratulations, and a very, very happy Richmond Flowers III.
Let's go down to Lewis.
All right, Tom, thanks so much. Well, Aaron, how do you get through with an ankle that's 70% and throw 8 touchdowns? You know what you do is you lean on your teammates, and they come through for you, and that's what happened today. These guys' offensive line played the best game of the year. Receivers went and got the ball when they needed to, and our defense stepped up and played tremendous. So it's a team game, and I appreciate them all. And the other big stat must be the 4 stops. How are you guys able to change things defensively like that? Man, we just got to come together, and sometimes it takes going through some adversity to do that. You know, and we did that. People are hurt, but we got to keep working and keep pressing. You know, I believe they're trying to clear the field for something down here. Are they trying to kick an extra point, Tom? Well, I believe they're trying to kick an extra point here.
They have. You're right. They have.
We'll throw it back up to you.
Yeah, they have to kick the extra point.
Have to kick the extra point, even though it's academic. Well, what about Aaron Garcia, though? As you see some of the plays of the game, there's Will Holder with that excellent run back against the grain as he cuts back. But Garcia, 19 of 21, 9 touchdowns and an interception. Kick him in the other ankle, Lewis, because maybe next week he'll throw 11 or 12.
You know, they go down to play Tampa Bay next week, and you'd say, why are they kicking this extra point? Well, there is those tiebreakers, Tom, right, you know, with point differentials, and so that's why they have to attempt this extra point. And there is lines on these games.
Not to mention the all-important point spread.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Lewis isn't done yet.
All right, Tom, thanks. Richmond Flowers, Lincoln Dupree, big games for both of you guys. First for you, you know, had a sprained left knee. How do you return and come back and do what you did on offense as well as a pick on defense?
I just think motivation. I played the whole last year with a blown-out knee, so nothing right now can stop me from trying to play.
Why were things so different today? You guys look like a different team.
Everybody back against the wall. Yeah. So we got to come out and go ahead and smack them in the mouth. They've been talking trash all week about them being the #1 team. So we had nothing to lose, really.
And Richmond, should we just take the title rookie away from your name? You seem as though you've been playing this game for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I got to keep on learning, but we obviously accepted the challenge today and came out here against the supposed best team in the league and stuck it to them. And we have to continue to improve on what we did here today and get better.
Even with a bum ankle, Garcia is pretty incredible. What is he teaching you about this game? What are you learning so fast that's helping you to succeed?
Every time you watch him, you learn something. I mean, obviously, he's what this game's about, and we just come out here, and his job is put the ball in the air. Our job is to catch it.
All right, guys, congratulations.
All right.
Hey, I want to say hey to everybody back in Sacramento.
All right.
Hey, especially my mom and all my homeboys. Hey.
Okay. All right, Tom.
All right, Lewis. New York trailed San Jose by 10, 47-37, and then outscored the SaberCats 24-3 to put the game away.
You know, as great as Aaron Garcia played today, I think Todd Shell is going to be most happy with his defensive performance. You mentioned the 4 stops. They played great. A couple of, missed exchanges because of the great nose tackle play by Tim McGill. We saw a couple of interceptions. So that's what he said, coming into the game, we need to make some stops defensively, change the rhythm of the game defensively. They did that, ergo the win.
Mark Grieve, yeah. Aaron Grieve, and the receivers too. They were saying Will Holder was saying we all needed to come together, and they did. Offense, defense, the receivers made some plays. Garcia was top here. DeMatteo, the new guy in the lineup, made several plays.
Everything. But talk about the receivers. It wasn't just one receiver either, Tom. Every single one of them seemed to make some spectacular play. Whether it was Dupree and Chuck Wesley early in the game, and Flowers, of course. So it was a great day for that man and the guys to whom he throws the ball.
Back down to Lewis.
All right, Tom, thanks. Barry Wagner, this is supposed to be a disappointing loss for you guys.
Well, I just want to give thanks to God for having us out here doing this. And it was difficult because we had opportunity when we had turnover to put it in, and we turned back over. It's just hard offensively, and then we had some guys to go down. So 2 guys on offense to go down, Shake and Jerry Reese, and that kind of hurt us, so we had to play a lot of minutes.
And what did New York's new defense look like? What did it do to you? They looked like they were a completely different team. How much did that wreak havoc with you?
I mean, when you get pressure on the quarterback and the secondary, give just a little time for the linemen to get there, they'll get there. But we turn the ball over on snaps, and that kind of hurt when we fumble a little bit on offense. But these type of games that you got to win on the road, and we had the opportunity to punch it in a couple times. We didn't, but hey, today just went out day, and we'll get better.
And I can imagine after all the years you've been in the league, you'll need to say something as a veteran of this team. What do you say to a team like this who lost the game that you thought you'd win?
Well, you go in and you say evaluate what happened, and the only thing we can do is get better. I mean, like I said, we had some guys to go down earlier, and I had to play a lot of minutes. I ain't played a lot of minutes in a long time, so that's taking a toll on some guys too. But like I look at it, we had an opportunity to put it in, we didn't, and we just got to keep our focus and our mental game together, and it'll get better.
All right, Barry, thanks so much.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, Lewis, so San Jose loses for the first time this season, and New York a much-needed victory.
Yeah, and they right back in the hunt, and they go to play a tough Tampa Bay team next week, defending world champions.
So New York wins it over San Jose, 64-50. Coming up next on NBC Sports, final round coverage of the Ford Championship at Doral. Big victory for the New York Dragons over the San Jose SaberCats today. For Pat Haden and Lewis Johnson, this is Tom Hammond saying so long for the Nassau Coliseum on New York's Long Island. For those of you in Los Angeles, the AFL on NBC continues right after this. So long, everybody.